Ike Live, brought to you exclusively by Abu Garcia.
He's like, why'd I get used as a curse word?
This is what I miss, the unstructured start of a show where Becky tells everyone to be quiet and we're talking right over the intro, which I love. Folks at home, how you doing tonight? Hope you're having a wonderful evening. I know we are. It is Sunday, and the crew's back together. Man, dude, this is like old school shit going on. Let me intro the room for you real quick as people are tuning in. Sitting to my right, you know him, the one and only Dean of the Bash University, a.k.a. Pete Glusick.
That's a good AKA.
Dude,
Good
you've
to see
got
you.
a lot of nicknames. You've acquired a lot of nicknames over the years.
Did you say lick names?
Nicknames. Nicknames.
Yep.
Have you?
I guess so, but there's no doubt that the fame is all about falling in the water.
Dude, I mean, anywhere you go.
It's like
Everywhere. So
all ICAST long,
I
about
know.
once an hour.
I know.
Somebody replays it for me.
So
or
I'll
comments
give you the
about
best
it.
example, and then I want to keep intro in the room real quick. But so we've made connection with this company, and they got this great product, and legitimately they're from China. And so, you know, the one guy knows fishing, but the other couple people straight from China really don't know fishing. And we showed up for a meeting at ICAST with them, and your name came up, and the one guy from China was like, the guy that fall in.
No.
Yes!
Come on.
I'm not kidding you.
It made it to China?
Or he saw it somehow. He had enough. When I
No, it
mentioned
went to
Pete's-
China.
Probably. It went
Pete,
to
you're
China.
huge in China.
So you're big in
Pete,
China,
you're giant.
Pete.
You're the guy that far out of the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, you're far out of the boat. Right. You did far out of the boat.
Godzilla.
Godzilla. Sitting to my left, and this is a very Dave and I were doing this hypothesis on how this would affect the introduction. And I don't know. Well, how do I do this, Dave? So sitting to my left, the one and only Brian the Carpenter, but he's in a weird spot, dude.
It's the first time in 10 years of doing this that I've got to sit here. I mean, I've like was allowed to sit here for like 10, 20 minutes at a time, but I'm staying here the whole show.
Feels nice, doesn't it?
Unless Vegas comes up, then I get bumped.
Well, here's the nice thing about
Or
it.
Becky.
This was actually
Or Chef.
when Becky was setting everything up here a couple hours ago. We're like, man, is Brian? We actually said this. Is Brian going to be mad that he's not? I'm like, no, he's not going to be mad. I'm like, dude,
Hell no.
especially now with your new podcast, you're working your ass off there. I thought this would be nice to you could just sit and whatever.
Like you guys did
Like
for
we've
10
did for
years.
10
Just
years.
show up and
Yeah.
goof off.
Make
Yeah,
fun of
goof
you.
off.
Not read the notes.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I plan on doing.
Huffy and Van jokes, just sit here. That's it.
And like Pete, I got all my nicknames from, all my mistakes.
Yeah, all your mistakes. But the biggest nickname you've acquired, and I do want to tell this story. I think it's been told on the show before, but when we gave Brian the Carpenter his name, you did not like it in the beginning, and you did not like it.
Me? No.
Yeah,
that's
you didn't
corny.
like it. You thought it was terrible.
Yeah,
The carpenter.
Yeah, but Jesus was a carpenter.
that's right.
You're a carpenter. It's a good name.
He came to me in a dream and said it's gonna be all right.
Well, so do you have regrets about accepting that name
No.
10 years ago?
Nope.
No, because you're known. I mean, people know you. They don't even maybe necessarily know your actual name's Brian, even though
They
it's
don't know
Brian the
my
Carpenter.
last name, and
They don't know your last name.
and that's good.
That is good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah.
Sitting to Brian's left in his normal spot. Dave, I like you in that spot. It's a good spot for you.
It's not my handsome side though.
Nah,
Like
yeah,
if
really?
like I was on Pete's side, I think I would look better.
Yeah, but Pete's couch sinks in a little bit.
Well, no, it's
You
like
have to-
everyone has a good side. Like
Yeah.
the side I got to show here, I feel like I'm in like an extra gravy commercial, like a fucking old country buffet or something. Like I'm waiting for like mashed potatoes, like all the mashed potatoes. There I am, like, hey, I'm on the side. But I was on that side.
Sitting in his normal chair, Dave Brodzik, aka Stormtrooper, aka Worf, back in the studio.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, and then of course we've got our producers tonight. We've got a very special guest sitting to the right of Becky and joining us as the assistant producer
And Uber driver,
and Uber driver,
Airport shuttle.
and airport shuttle, and
all around great guy.
all around great guy, and
Miller Lite Pro Staff.
Miller Lite Pro Staff, and answering some of the
Sponsor needed.
and answering some of the IM stuff. We've got Chef joining us tonight as
That's
executive
right.
producer.
The only one that got an applause tonight, Chef.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, because we threw him into this role.
He's like Johnny Appleseed. You know, remember Johnny go around sprinkling the apple seeds?
yeah,
He's just goes around handing out Miller Lights to everybody.
I love it.
He always dries the bottle off with a rag and
Nice, clean, shiny. bottle,
Always.
dry. And last, but 100%, Pete, not least, producing the show tonight, we have Miss Rebecca.
Hi.
How you doing tonight, Beck?
I'm good.
Okay, for who are you wearing tonight? What do you got on? Who's the designer?
Yeah, step back. Can we get a full shot?
I know. Business on the
No
top.
side boob.
Job is on the bottom. No, I got some fabulous turquoise when we were in Colorado.
And that's on your neck?
From like an Indian reservation, graveyard, something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
But here's my question.
Pilfered from
Here's my question
from the
about
bones of Pocahontas.
That'd be awesome.
Why would turquoise be from the bones of Pocahontas?
I don't know. They shine them up.
I mean,
Just
culturally,
shine 'em up, bro.
Fancy ass bones.
They shine them up.
My question is, turquoise, I always assumed was blue,
What?
and your necklace is green. How is that possible?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, because I guess it can go in all different gradations of blue green to green. I have
Is that
lime
what it
green.
is?
I have like natural lime green. Yeah, there's all different kinds.
I just assumed turquoise was blue. Like,
Well, yeah, like
color.
a turquoise color.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
that's
the actual
that's green
stone
turquoise.
can have very well. It's
so that's
I don't know,
emerald.
like go
Yeah.
look that up. It's some sort of chemical reaction.
All right,
Okay.
that's crazy.
There you have it, guys. Before we start the show, as we usually do, I want to give a shout out to our armed forces, men and women, serving veterans. Thank you for what you do. It is 100% a crazy world. Look at Dave's shirt. This is a crazy world we live in. So thank you, guys. Also, policemen, firemen, Pete, EMTs, all those guys that do all that stuff. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it.
Toll bridge workers.
Yes, toll bridge workers that charge
$15.
$15 to get through. That's crazy. That's insane.
That was crazy.
Here's the great thing, Pete. Tonight, normally you see Brian, one of the 10 years of notes, and did such a good job over the years of preparing notes and having topics and guests. Look at this, Dave. No notes.
Freeform.
We're freestyling tonight, and this is a true catch-up show, a true reunion show to just get back together. And the other thing is, Dave, I've switched formats of the show, and I do a lot of these one-on-one podcasts.
Yeah. I've looked at them.
People like them. People appreciate them.
People seem to really like them.
But every show, like not one, not five, but like every one I've done, we have those comments that come up either during the show or at the end, and it said, "God, we missed the crew. God, we missed the old show." So
Yeah.
that means something. I mean, that's saying something to listen. There's some, and Brian, Bass After Dark, I'm not including that in this. There's some god awful podcasts. There's some god awful fishing related podcasts
Yeah, most of
out
them.
right now. And when I look back on it, Pete, we gave a lot. We gave really good quality work in those 10 years. I might be biased, but I think we did.
I think we did a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, is it 10? It's 10 full
10
years, right?
Yeah, now it's 10. Last year we said it was 10. It was actually like 9 3/4. But it's actually right. It's actually 7. It's actually 10 this year.
Yeah,
10 years.
I mean, it was pretty monumental stuff. People still talk about it. I get comments all the time about that. Oh man, we miss seeing you guys.
What year
and
did
the whole
Randy
crew.
Howe win the Classic? 13.
We got to Google this. That sounds about
Is that
right.
the first show?
That was the first show.
Yeah.
Second show.
It was one of the first shows.
The second show.
And Dave, do you remember, like, how when you do the podcast, like, it took us a year. To be
You
honest.
guys didn't let me on the first like 4 or 5.
Well, you weren't on the
shows.
first. So,
Nah.
so
He wasn't in the plans in the
uh,
beginning.
so we.
Then you realize no one laughed at any of your stuff. And then you
Right.
brought
Well,
me-
we're not funny at all. I knew that from the beginning.
That's a fact.
I knew that from the beginning. But Dave, Randy gets on, and I love Randy. Shout out to Randy Howe. Shout out to Robin Howe, the Thurstons.
Especially Robin.
Yeah,
Mostly Robin.
yeah, mostly Robin. Dude, Randy got on and literally controlled the flow of the podcast. And he talks a lot
the
anyway.
flow.
Yeah.
Dude,
It was the
I-
Randy
I
Howe
mean,
monologue for
you couldn't even, how like
we didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, like right now we're looking at each other, so we're judging off clues with our
Mm.
facial expressions and shit. And
It was a phone call.
dude, it was a phone. Was it
Yeah,
a phone call?
It was a phone call.
Dude, it was like an hour of just like stepping back, like
No one knew what to do.
no one
Yeah.
knew what
And I
to
remember
do.
on the first one, like right before it started, you took a breath like a kid from West Virginia at a spelling bee competition, dude. Like you were just like, welcome to the
I remember that.
MISSISSIPPI.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's but it was fun because we got to, learn a lot. We got to create a format that I think people enjoyed, Dude, good, right? Good. Real
Tasty,
quick.
right?
And this
Oh,
is
yeah.
perfect timing. Real quick, we're beer of the night, guys. If you're watching, Beck, can you zoom in? You know how to zoom in?
Nope.
You can't zoom in.
I can't do that with this.
You can't do that one. Okay.
Just
Anyway,
take his
The
word.
old production stuff, I have all these gorgeous cameras. Can't
yeah,
do
but
it
you can't do
now.
it now. Okay. We are drinking. A lot of us, we got Miller Lights
Should we-
going around, but also,
Chef, you wanna grab one
yeah,
from the
Chef,
fridge?
grab one, and we'll let Becky get a little close up of that. But got a nice little beer here.
Yeah.
Working with a local brewery, Neck of the Woods Brewing, and it's a nice little. What, Dave? Describe this one for you, because you're a beer head. Describe this. How would you describe it?
It's a hoppy, light, drinkable pale ale.
Drinkable pale ale.
I would
with
call
some
it's
hops
more of a pale ale.
IPA.
Did they have it listed as an IPA? See, for me, it's more in the pale ale range.
Yeah,
But it's
because you
hoppy.
could drink them.
It's
not
hoppy.
like you can
Yeah.
drink one.
It's
and then
delicious. Yeah.
Your toast. So
They did a great job.
definitely, if you're in the
What's it
tri-state
called?
area, keep your eye out for it. Stay in the boat, Ike. Neck of the Woods Brewing. Part of the proceeds from every beer you buy goes to the Ike Foundation. That's so cool, dude. So cool. What an awesome.
When's the next one coming out?
I don't know. I honestly, I had this thought with the success of this one, and I had this thought where I really want to start networking with some other beer companies. Of course, we got Chuck Garrity, friends, owner of Death of Fox, and just start maybe freestyling around and see if we can do limited releases with a lot of different beer companies. Dude, why not get into whiskey? Why not get into hard liquor, vodka, Pete, Captain Morgan's? We can do a stay in the boat, Captain
Stay in the
Morgan.
boat, Rome.
Stay in the boat.
Now this
F
is
you dog.
Ass
you
ass
dog
up.
Al? No, F you dog Al. Beck, write that one down.
What about an ass up IPA?
Ass up IPA. It's a good one. I like that one. So, honest question. This is for Dave or Brian, because this is about Pete, so I can't ask Pete.
You're not here right now.
10 years of Ike Live. Beck, you can answer this.
What
as
did you
well.
hate most about Pete?
No.
Oh.
That's not the question. 10 years of Ike Live.
We could go around the room. What do we hate most about each other?
Why did I list him as the co-host?
No.
What?
No. No.
Oh, sorry.
No, they're all interrupting me. I'm trying to say something.
Being harsh.
Sorry.
They're being harsh.
They're getting ready to pounce.
10 years.
Warming up.
10 years of Ike Live. And look what's over there. Pete, hold your coffee up real quick. Pete's got his coffee. How many handles of Captain Morgan's have we cut through in 10 years with Pete as the co-host? Come on, Dave. Give me a
I
number.
like how he nicely said we. It was royal because there's no we in Pete's consumption.
I said we because I feel like over the years,
Come on, we're
We've
a
had a
team
few.
back
How many shows we do? 130?
One for all for
19?
one. Come on.
yeah, so probably what do we average? 12 shows a year, 15 shows a year, right? Let's say 15.
Yeah, early on we just did one a
60.
month. So we had 12.
60.
12 a year.
So 120 shows.
Yeah, 50, 60 handles.
50 or
way.
60 handles of Captain Morgan's.
Yeah.
And that's the big bottle. That's what's the leader on a handle?
It's-
Jeff, do you know?
6 a year, Pete.
6 a year.
What's the leader? Is it
That's a lot.
250?
Which it's more than that, but you know.
Come on. You got your
It's
consumed
1.75.
cases
It's
of
a-
IPA
it's a
that were
1.75.
consumed by this show.
I'm not ashamed of
But
that.
we overtly drink our stuff, dude. We're not the history teacher taking a swig of mouthwash in the 80s. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
I drink coffee from my coffee cup. I drink rum from my coffee.
Everything.
Drinks water from it.
Keep it
Yeah.
keep it same. I like that.
Yeah.
For those of you watching, I want to remind you that the Ike Live show is brought to you by Abu Garcia. We just got back from ICAST. People, we're going to be catching up on ICAST later, but head over to abugarcia.com. Check out the brand new Ike Series 3.0 rods and reels just launched. Dude, I'm happy to say
3.0.
yeah, 3.0 series just launched at ICAST. And I convinced them to once again do the travel series rods. That was a struggle because they didn't want to do them. And I'm
Really?
like, dude, you got to do those. They're great.
No, I
I
keep-
still use them.
I keep that rod in my tractor at work. I have
You
a
never
stop
know.
that I go to out in Robbinsville.
Yeah.
They have this lake behind there.
Yeah.
I keep it in work.
Dude, it's great.
Yeah.
So nice at the airport.
Right in the overhead,
Yep.
in the closet. Sometimes the stewardess is like, "Oh, but
It's like 2.5 feet,
Mhm.
that case.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's about it, man.
it's good.
You can
And
put it anywhere.
Yep, and it has 2 tips. Everybody loves 2 tips. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Better than one.
Also brought to you by the Ike Foundation. Head over to ikefoundation.org. Beck, a lot of good stuff happening over there. We had kids tournament a few weeks ago. Went good. Got a lot of kids coming out now. I love the enthusiasm I'm seeing. Kids that are getting into fishing that want to mix competition in. It's cool to see that. So it's
Yep.
pretty awesome.
We
Yeah.
still have one more in September.
Okay.
Yep. And the kayak tournament's coming up. We're going to be on the Upper Susquehanna
Oh,
as well.
That's
not
correct.
this year.
No.
Upper
Yeah.
Susky.
Upper
Yeah.
Susky. They actually catch some fish.
When's the that's Cooper or Newton? The last
Cooper.
Cooper in September, right?
We're
Early
supposed to be
September.
Cooper.
When's the
I
kayak
mean, we all
event?
know how Gloucester.
Mid-September?
County is-
Mid-September? Late September on the kayak event?
Late.
Late September.
Almost
What's the
positive
official
late
launch going to be?
So you can basically any public boat ramp from like Harrisburg up to the split, where the 2 branches split. That's a lot of that's a couple, probably 150 river miles.
So that campground will be the cutoff?
That campground will be the last public ramp you can
Because that's
launch
where,
at.
okay.
That's
All right.
right.
Got it.
Yeah, because we're going to follow Bassmaster rules. Bassmaster is there next week. I'm actually leaving Tuesday for it,
Oh, cool.
for the Upper Susquehanna.
What's the water What's the water levels like up there?
Right now, the water level in the Upper Susquehanna is so low. It's literally the lowest that guys are, putting on their social media. It's the lowest they've ever seen it in their life. So super low. Not a
So
lot
everyone's
of
going to
rain.
be down.
I mean,
They're
Not a lot
painted
of
for
deep
gold.
water.
It's
Huh?
interesting because
Yeah.
the Champlain, we got 3 inches of rain
Yeah.
when we were up there for the Toyota.
Yeah.
And that lake came up 2 feet.
right.
I guess that
possible.
storm was north of the Susquehanna watershed, maybe.
It had to be. Because that's a Hudson River watershed, right? 'Cause
Pete,
it
everything's
comes
a
out
balance.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it goes
for that
out
to
the
go up,
top
this
and
is
comes out the
Yeah.
bottom. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we just got 3 inches of rain on us.
Wow.
I mean, it was flat pouring. You couldn't drive more than 40 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
It was coming down so hard.
He could.
I wonder if, but these are real isolated storms, I guess, this time of year.
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe Champlain. Champlain's 150 miles long. It's 10 miles wide, and it came up this much
Yeah.
overnight.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
I couldn't believe it.
That's wild.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, at 3 inches, right? You got 3 inches of rain dump on it, but then you got the Adirondacks and all that
All
watershed
the creeks.
just comes right into the lake.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how fast it came up
Wow.
overnight. It was pretty crazy. I saw creeks running muddy.
How much it changed the bite?
Well, I think it caused the tournament to be won through one of the cut throughs. So I think it changed it extremely dramatically. Like the exit hole for Mallett's Bay, Outer Mallett's Bay, the flow increased. And
Like a magnet.
Yeah.
Smallmouth.
Yeah, well, no, because that Vermont water, there's not much for that to escape. Mallett's is a primary area where all those
It's a
mountains.
giant
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you got a hole that's
that
Yeah.
big.
as wide
Yeah.
as a bass boat.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And they showed a video of the camera boat there, and there's 10 boats in that cut through, and
White Rock.
No.
this is Mallett's Bay.
Mallett's Bay.
It sets up just like it though.
Every minute,
Exactly.
every second, somebody had a fish on.
Yeah.
Every
Bur-
second, it was
Bur-
crazy.
Burlington.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
We I fished a tournament there when it was like that, like 25, 30 years ago in the nation,
Yeah.
the old federation, and we were out. You could just walk across the smallmouth, and I've gone back there every year to check on it. Like
Yeah.
because it's out of the way of where I normally fish.
Well,
This year I didn't check. I didn't look.
The year that I won my first elite, which was September
Mm.
of 90.
We were at Mallett's
8.
Bay in that tournament, right?
September 98. Yeah, we were out of Mallett's Bay,
Yeah,
and David Fritz came in third in that tournament, fishing that exact
fishing
spot.
that cut.
Exact spot.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
What were the
Yeah.
weights? What were the
The
Yeah,
weights
The
at that
weights.
one you fished were blowout.
I've never seen weights that high. I mean,
Dudes had
19
20
pounds.
Dudes had 20 pounds a day and came in like 10th.
Those rock outlets are the only place up there I ever really got smallmouth on crankbaits.
Right.
I can't think of
yeah.
anywhere else where I really ever
Yeah.
have done well where I'd be like
There's a
confident.
lot of fish love that current. You
Yeah.
know?
So the current increased, and all the cut throughs. That particular cut through just dominated the tournament. The dude had a 22-pound bag of smallmouth, and
Crazy.
it changed things. I think some guys struggled to catch them a little bit because it probably moved their fish around. I know one of the areas, my primary area. This is the most amazing thing. I pulled up and I was fishing
Pete's Dock, Pete's Rock,
creek discharges, and it was clear and it was running
Pete's
hard.
clear discharge,
and and I started catching them right away. And while I was fishing, like 45 minutes into fishing, it turned mud.
Wow.
Oh.
It went from clear to mud.
It went from clear to mud. Like the delay was about 12 hours for the mud to get down.
Right.
And then the mud just washed over all the grass and
killed everything.
And that was it. That was it for that area for me. you know?
Time to go.
But,
crazy.
yeah, it was crazy how fast it happened.
It's
But the
crazy.
weights were monster. 19 pounds was 45th place after day one. And here's the other thing. Everybody wants to say forward facing. I'd say the majority of those bags were not
right
fishing that way.
Just fishing.
And a lot of the forward facing guys,
That's because they were in one spot and they were on them.
in some cases, a lot of those guys were forward facing and didn't make the cut.
Yeah. But
coming in with 17, 18 pounds.
But first, second, forward facing. Probably
Yeah,
third.
first, I guess so. I mean, he was fishing to cut through, man. You know, like
In the write up it said he was using forward facing.
I guess, you know, but
He's
would it
probably
have mattered
sponsored.
that much? You
Right.
know,
Right.
because you're fishing those sidewalls. I mean, the fish are just stacked up like cordwood in there.
Right.
You know, all right, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll argue that.
He
I
was
think
using
could've
forward
done it
facing. I'm
without
sure
it.
he has a prototype coming out next week.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on.
prototype
Yeah.
jig head minnow
Yeah.
coming out next week.
But
Special.
I
Something makes it
did-
special.
There was some forward facing stuff going on out there that was like, how guys are using it. It's crazy.
It's my
Your intern.
yeah.
Yeah.
How
man.
are you with it? How are you learning it?
I just time. I keep working on it. Like my kids are going to the national championship, and they caught their winning fish off of it. You know, Max caught it. You know, he spied two and threw his jig in there and caught a fish that wound up, you know, winning
Being a
that
difference
tournament
maker.
for him.
Yeah.
You know, so I keep working at it and keep studying it. I'm way more effective
Yeah.
this year than I was last year.
I will tell you this, dude. When this whole madness started, you know, and we had Randy Blockett on the show, of course. You know, Brian, you had Randy Blockett, Ben Milliken on your show. That was
their show.
That was strange.
That was two dudes pointing Roman candles at each other.
Yeah, but I will say this,
Brian, can you just wave real quick because someone's super confused over on YouTube asking where you are. Brian's on the couch.
Brian's on the couch. You're blending in too much to the couch.
I'm
Change.
so exhausted, dude. I want to blend in more.
I know.
I'm like about to put my feet up. And
But here's the thing: when Randy first started coming out with all his, you know,
blockisms.
yeah, his talk of it's the devil and it's the worst and it's you know, no, literally, it's
Go ahead,
it's a cheat box. I'm trying to think of some of the terms.
Cheat box.
It's a cheat
Damn it.
box. Spotlighting, like all these terms. It's evil. It's
Scoper.
when he first started saying that a few years ago, called 2-3 years ago, I was like, dude, Randy's going
Did
a little.
he say it that long ago?
Oh
A couple of years ago he started, and when it first started, I was kind of like, man, Randy's going a little overboard, you know, like maybe he's getting a little crazy here. But dude, I can honestly sit here and tell you that I'm less shocked by what he's saying now. I'm more understanding of his thought pattern.
Randy's a truther.
You know, I definitely am more understanding his thoughts on it.
I mean, you
know?
guys are just a few years away from a full video game screen that has distance and trajectory.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
You're not far away.
No, you know, it's coming. I mean, it's just getting far removed from actually fishing to me.
No, it'll be hunting.
Casting into the unknown, you
It's
know,
hunting
the
at
hunt,
this
the
point.
chase, you know.
Yeah.
It's just getting away from that. But anyway, I don't want to make this forward-facing sonar show.
It can easily.
It could very easily. I see the comments coming up. If you're watching, if you have a question or comment, send them through. I know Becky's monitoring the calls, and Chef is once in a while. Looks over there and laughs. So,
I have a gift.
you have a gift.
I have a gift that this was. I was
a gift.
Peter, you have a gift.
You mean a gift, like one of those little emoji things? A gift?
No, a gift.
Gift.
that I would like to give.
with a T.
You need to pass this down because
Ah,
this was going to be my
It's going right past me.
my costume.
He's looking at you.
Oh, all right.
And I want to pass this all the way down.
I'll take it.
When was
I
this
will-
costume
I will
gonna
take this gift.
Is this mashed potatoes?
appear
Oh
on your
wow,
body?
there's multiple gifts.
I was supposed to be Dave for the last show where we were dressed up as
A Halloween.
Yeah,
the Halloween
episode.
special.
And what happened? It didn't-
Wow,
these did not-
Dave,
these
this
did
is a
not-
good gift.
Oh, it's an amazing gift,
Yeah.
dude. Come
Is that
on.
what is that a smock? What is that?
That is like
Is that a poncho?
it's a MAGA apron.
Yeah.
What else we got here, dude?
Oh, the pants too?
No, please tell me these are pants.
No,
Oh, all right.
It's another one. Oh, but
Oh,
that's
wow.
a totally different style. Look at the
Dave,
size of the
dude,
eagle
Dave,
on
can
that
you go
shirt.
please put them on?
I will. I'm
And
gonna.
then-
I'll use this one
now,
right here,
here's
dude.
what I
That
wanna-
is
here-
amazing.
Here's what I want to.
that Pete went and got this.
I know.
I know.
Man,
They didn't show up in time for the show.
But here's
so
what I
was-
want to say. These might be
Awesome.
You might reconsider keeping these. Is
Right?
that a collector's item
It
now?
might be.
Because
It might have value.
that's what
well,
I'm saying.
I get to choose which one you take back. It's, at least if you're gonna Indian give me, dude, I gotta,
Bro.
gotta at least.
Nah, it's all you, man.
They're good shirts. Man.
Oh, dude, all the above. Man.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Hell
Back to Champlain real quick.
Yeah,
I saw there was a derb there over the weekend.
yeah.
I guess yesterday.
Yep.
And it was like 24, 24, 23,
Saw
22.
that.
Green ones.
Was it
was-
all green?
I think so, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's pretty
The
amazing.
green ones were real active.
Out of tie.
I mean, out of tie. Okay, interesting.
That's what I
A lot of the
heard.
guys that I was talking to were saying that last time the elites were there, nobody ran the tie, and everybody's kind of thinking about making the move.
Right.
But I don't go but they were effective. I think that rising water and that extra current
Right.
that really helped that largemouth bite.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be cool to see what you
Yeah,
guys are
it'll be
doing.
interesting to see how it plays out. All right, this is a catch-up show. We'll start on the left. Dave,
Catch-up.
we talked a little bit. Before
Wait,
the show
can you
started.
hold?
Yeah,
Can you hold that thought?
sure.
We have a very upset person on Facebook.
Oh, no.
Garrett on Facebook really wants to know if you have fished the Navasink River or its tributaries.
Garrett, Navasink.
Where is that?
That name sounds familiar.
Hold on.
I don't know.
Indian.
Just wait. 20,000 comments.
I think it's in like northwestern Appalachia.
I bet you probably find it on
I don't know, dude.
Actually, it kind of rings a bell, but I can't place the Navasink. Have you? Pete?
I have no doesn't ring a bell.
Nav,
I would say no, Beck.
Navasink River.
Yeah.
Sounds like Connecticut. They have a lot of stuff like that up there.
No, I feel like
Yeah.
Estuary in New
I feel like
Jersey.
he commented somewhere in the mix.
Jersey?
It
I
is?
get them all in one.
Oh,
piece,
yeah.
but-
It's in New Jersey,
Yeah.
I don't know
Wow.
what it is.
Oh, that's beautiful, Dave.
Monmouth County.
Beautiful.
Wow,
Yeah, it says New Jersey.
how about that?
You got a little extra room in
Yeah,
there.
screenshot that, Brian.
Middletown.
Send it to you.
No on the Navasink, but now that I know it's in New Jersey,
Well, what
I
about
might get a look. Yeah. If you're still watching, let us know about it. What
8
is
miles long.
8 miles long? Okay, well, that's pretty big.
That's what it says.
Places got them?
Place got it. Dave, we'll play a little catch up.
Yeah.
How's everything been? How's the family? How's work? I talked to you a little bit. You have fished recently.
Yes.
Exciting to hear that.
What?
In the kayak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
how's-
purpose?
Oh yeah, it wasn't accidental.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, Brian the Carpenter and Pete, if you follow Dave, I see posts every once in a while from Dave of this amazing garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Posts?
I asked Dave about it today.
Mel.
Post. Yeah, Mel.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got you.
And Dave told me he's running out of room. And I said, he's out of room.
Oh, he's out.
And I said,
Dave, do you want to be my neighbor?
well, that's the only solution. You got to move. You got to get some. Got to get some property somewhere else. man.
Yeah. No.
But how's everything?
When the kids finally do leave, we're probably going to upstate New York
Upstate New
or
York.
Vermont.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
No
we're going up.
kidding.
Yeah,
You
we're
guys
going
are
up.
going north.
We saw a place we saw a place in Ticonderoga right on the water that man, like, but the problem was like it's considered seasonal, so we couldn't take out like a second home mortgage on it. It had to be a cash purchase because banks or we could have took out like a home. we could have like got like at home equity, like took equity out of the house.
Right.
But the thing was, it happened so quickly. You needed to have the money like right
Right.
then and there. It was gone.
Right.
But yeah, we're going up.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Wow.
to live up
Dumbest
there.
pass in the country.
Winters will be cold, and you'll have
Yeah.
to deal with a little bit of this. But
What's that?
Yeah, Ticonderoga. They have a little bit of like gene
Whoa.
pool problems up there.
Oh, really?
short arms like dinosaurs.
Well, you got to figure, Pete. Like it's a
Shallow.
limited pool of genetics, right? Like
Oh my.
not a lot of people live up there,
Boy.
and some of the genetics are a little kinked.
That's shocking.
I
You
would
know?
I would totally go north.
T-Rex.
Yeah.
All these people that's actually funny because you were talking about Florida for so long.
No, Florida said fuck Florida.
Every
I thought you were going.
time-
That's I'm
time-
shocked.
No.
I thought that's
every
where you're
time
going.
I go
No.
south and
Yeah.
I'm in that heat, I'm like, nope, Mike,
Nope.
you'll never get me to go south.
Jersey was hotter
I
than
will
Florida.
I will go north.
Upstate New
Every
York's
time.
gorgeous.
It
every
was-
time.
We feel
Yeah.
home there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So getting
Oh,
caught
yeah.
up. Family's great. David's going into 10th grade. Madison's going into 9th grade. He's getting gigantic. He's still
Yeah.
wrestling, and he's just started doing boxing and jujitsu.
Wow.
He wanted to do that. I mean, he didn't do
That's
football. He's
awesome.
skipping football this year.
Yeah.
Good.
And he's,
Wow.
you
Are we
know,
going to have a UFC fighter on our hands here? In about
well, he
4 or
hasn't been
5
punched
years?
in the face yet,
Okay.
so we'll see
Yeah.
what happens, like
Okay.
when you get hit, it changes your inspiration and you
Yeah.
taste your own blood going down your mouth.
Yeah.
But everyone's great. Mel's great. The house, the garden is actually exactly where I want it. Now that I saw your sauna, I absolutely know where I can put that. Like I think
it's badass.
I think that's next.
Yeah.
What do you
And
have?
we did put that together
we
ourselves.
did. We built,
Which-
Yeah.
You built it yourself.
People
It's
won't
pretty
believe it
easy.
watching, but we actually did put it together.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I have a place exactly for it, dude. Like
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
It was
At your
like
place?
Lincoln Logs, wasn't it? We put
At your
it together?
place?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sauna?
what's a circle?
No, he's got one.
Yeah.
Like they click together.
Yeah. It's like
Basically.
Lincoln Logs for adults. Yeah.
We were in it today
Yeah.
because I read that apparently you can, I guess, ward off
Evil
all-
spirits.
that too. Alzheimer's. They say that like sauna use a couple times a week
Yeah.
actually is so good for the brain.
Yeah, and like there's this whole
Heat
heat
shock.
shock protein
Yeah.
thing, but
Yeah.
I saw some muscle guys who are doctors talk about that too. That the amount of heat shock proteins that you get from that are so infinitesimal that it doesn't help. I don't know.
You know what?
I just saw a guy
Should've
shit on
gave-
that the
I
other
wanna
day.
Get my money's worth. in
No,
that
I was
sauna.
all for it. Then this one guy I like
Yeah.
had to go and shit on it, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He's actually a real doctor.
Infinitesimal.
Good word.
But listen, if
Like
anything
best
could
word
help it,
I've
'cause
ever heard Dave
Pretty-
use.
Pretty freaking
Thank you.
good.
If I could do anything to like not lose my mind, I'm in.
Yeah.
Because I definitely drink.
Turn
too
off the
much.
TV.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV.
Well, I said this before on the show, but I've chewed on lead split shot when I was a kid, and I still think I'm okay.
Yeah,
That's
Mm.
questionable.
we still do that
Yeah.
sometimes.
I think about all the plastic straws I used to just chew on endlessly.
We ain't
dude.
supposed to do that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but think about our kids. Like all those dishwasher things are like in plastic. Now they're like, oh, there's plastic on all your dishes. Like the amount of plastic
yeah.
that's in our
Yeah, that was
intestines.
probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our kids are way more screwed than us.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to turn this into a whole because I
Yeah,
could
what
start
happened?
right now, start talking about the 80s and how awesome we had it compared to these poor bastards. Like I don't know.
Isn't it great though? Every generation says that.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know
like
what's
our parents are saying that about us, and then we're saying that about our kids. Our kids will say that about their kids.
so there's a
Yeah.
funny Instagram channel I subscribe to called Growing Up in the 80s. I highly recommend it for anyone who is a Gen Xer, all of us. And the clothes now. Actually, they just showed they just showed a video in 85 of Seaside Heights Boardwalk,
Yeah.
and it's what the kids are wearing right
Today.
now.
Oh yeah. It's
The
coming
girls are
back.
wearing like those Suzanne Summer workout pants that are
Yeah.
just barely below their ass
Lady
cheeks.
Lady W.
The
yes,
all
yeah.
the floral stuff's back in for the boys.
Yeah.
It's all coming back. The mullets are coming
The
back,
mullets are back.
mullets, the big glasses.
but not
They're
just
going
mullets.
mullets
Like
now.
no, the
because
joke-
they've been broccoli for
So-
like the last
so
6-8 years.
so it's not
broccoli
it
heads.
wasn't the Brian mullet. It wasn't like the Joe Dirt mullet. It is more like a real glorious like drummer of like Van Halen. mullet.
Glorious.
It's
Yeah.
feathered, it's tapered, and it's
Yeah.
still coming out here in the front, which absolutely makes me
Feathered and
insane.
tapered.
But
I like that better than the broccoli.
Jake is studying the mullet.
no,
He's studying that. He's got that. He's thinking about getting that.
I was sitting
Wow.
behind a kid today in church, had a glorious mullet, dude.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I did hear that. That's it.
A lot of changes happened. Really.
Yeah, a lot of changes. Dave, in
I wasn't
church.
there because I was coming back from Florida, but sat next to Dave in church a couple times recently.
Really?
Wow.
Oh yeah, we go to True
Wow.
North.
True North.
Yeah,
The Botanowitzes go there, don't they?
I don't know. I haven't.
No.
There's so many different services
did.
you don't know.
Did
Absolutely.
Junior go to True North?
What,
I
once?
don't know, but I heard that church actually just bought the old Sears
They
in
did.
Vineland too.
They did.
Yeah,
They're going to reopen Sears Roebuck and Co. Yes.
No.
Oh,
they probably
They're
get like
farm
about.
souls for the Lord.
They probably get about 1,000 people a Sunday between their 3 or 4 sessions.
they don't do interpretive dance though.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, good. Then if you don't know what it is,
What's that, like a conga line?
No speaking in tongues yet either.
Nah, no.
It's good.
The interpretive dance stuff freaks me out.
I grew up with that.
I know.
I
you
would
feel it.
love
You
to see
feel
that
it.
again someday.
Dude, I didn't even know. I live right by where he went. Like when we weren't allowed to hang out with him,
Yeah.
he went to a place like right by where I lived. No, I mean like for that time you went there, not like indefinitely. We weren't
across
like
the
in
street from the Boba.
perpetuity, but banned from hanging with you.
Why,
But-
why were
We
you
were banned.
banned? Why were you banned?
I said
from
we
hanging?
weren't. I said we weren't banned. I was saying we weren't.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying I didn't know I lived by that place.
He was
Okay.
banned, but we weren't.
I was banned from bringing.
I miss you, bro.
Let me tell you something now. His stepdad was 1,000% right. When I started figuring out Jesus and God, I immediately realized that the parents from Footloose were 100% correct.
Parents from Footloose?
Yes.
What?
What?
But
All
wait,
you young
wait,
people,
wait.
Banning dancing.
So
rewatch
bring
it.
Bring it back to the 80s. Somebody just brought up the Trapper Keeper. Does anyone
Oh, yeah.
remember
Oh, hell yeah.
what the image was on their Trapper Keeper? Mine
Well,
is
you could-
totally the unicorn
Yeah,
with
but-
rainbow.
Yeah, but
Purple, remember purple background.
Yeah, but they
like
also had the
unicorn.
Trapper
Yeah.
Keepers that you could insert your own images as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember, this is what I remember about Trapper Keepers. Dave will back me up on this one. Brian too. They had the Trapper Keepers that we used to do our graffiti. You would graffiti, and then you could stick it in the underneath of the Trapper Keeper.
Yeah.
So I
That's
had
your
all
cover.
my little art, burners, little Ike burners and tags.
All right.
on my
well,
So,
Trapper
like,
Keeper.
my Trapper Keeper was more like wishful thinking on my mom's part when she would about to buy me one every year, like mandated. All I did was use that round thing, like to pinch the calluses on my hand from freestyling. I would like open it up and like pinch my calluses on those like little teeth, like in between the
Oh,
round
yeah.
thing, and I would like lift the thing with it.
well, I'm sorry, South End. You had a Lambo. I had a unicorn.
Yep.
I don't know a thing.
I had like the
I don't
shopping
remember.
bag, the brown paper bag.
Oh, yeah. No, that was for the book covers. You would use the
I
brown
did that
paper.
for my
Oh, yeah.
Trapper
Oh yeah,
Keeper, too.
WF Deal said that he had the blank Trapper Keeper.
Blank
Yeah.
Trapper
Those
Keeper.
must have been the cheap ones.
They were probably the cheap ones.
I can remember almost being thrown out of a class because I refused to cover the book because I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to wreck your book.
Yeah.
I'm not even
I'm
gonna
not
look at
even
it.
gonna, I'm not even going to open it. It's going to smell fresh. There ain't going to be any sense in there for me. There ain't going to be nothing falling out of it because it's never going to be
Yeah,
open.
but the
I'm
brown,
never opening.
the brown paper shopping bag
They were awesome.
was the system. to
Yeah.
cover your
Oh,
books.
we would
Yeah.
spend
Yeah.
hours wrapping those
Oh,
books at
yeah.
my house.
Yeah.
All the books would be laid out. My mom showed me how to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It'd be
We'd
perfect.
wrap
And
the
tape.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't even have books now.
No.
You remember when the
They
back
don't?
to school
No books,
sales
dude.
happened
Hardly any
like
books.
a week before school started? Now they start in January.
It's starting like, yeah.
Yeah. Or the schools will. What's the email thing that our kids have? They send you everything you need in the email. You press a button, takes you to Amazon or whatever. You press a button.
It's amazing.
They
No,
send you.
that was until now. There was a company where you basically spent like $40 and everything was sent to
Everything
your house
shows
in a
up.
box that the kids would need. We got the email this summer because I was like, oh my God, like I'm going to have to actually individually buy the stupid school supplies. We got an email a few weeks ago from the superintendent that they're supplying the kids with everything this year.
Because there's
Well,
nothing to supply.
It's about time. I
Everything's
mean,
online, everything's virtual,
You guys-
everything's on devices.
the amount of taxes the
It's
Shalleck
crazy.
school district pulls in from you people for zero services they provide.
Oh,
They
yeah.
should be buying the kids' clothes. And rats.
They should. But here's the thing.
I mean, I kind of have to agree with Dave though. Like we don't even get trash.
You don't even have cops.
Yeah,
We don't have cops. We don't have
We don't have
trash.
cops.
Like,
Yeah.
we have nothing.
20 minutes from now, a
Just
state
pay-
trooper might
We just
accidentally
went from
drive
some
by.
Pretty amazing. I like our teachers.
Your taxes are high to keep other people away.
Oh, yeah.
That could be.
Lots of
But-
taxes, no services. Who's going to buy them?
But here's the thing on books. I looked
People
at,
that can
Well,
sign
ever
me
since
up for it to
COVID,
keep.
everyone and their brother, they're all coming down here.
I looked at Pete to back me up on this one because Pete's an
Uh-oh.
old guy like me. Do you miss books? Like, there's something
Oh, yeah.
about a book.
Dude,
Like, Becky's been reading books on her phone.
I'm trying to.
It
Ah,
drives me,
man.
dude. It drives me nuts.
No.
Reading a book
Yeah.
on your phone.
I just saw the most books ever.
You did?
Ken Dukes.
Oh, that's right. He's gonna
Books
love
on
that.
books.
Actual books, like with paper.
Like
and-
his wall of books, it's actually too deep.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I do prefer an
better.
actual book to flip the pages, but we live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, we got to get
it's
into that.
just-
Ken's place. That's
Yeah.
it's insane.
Amazing, huh?
Oh my god.
I like the texture. I write in the margins.
The smell,
There's just something about it that
Paper
I've
cuts
always
bleed to
liked.
death.
the musk.
I'm trying to listen to books now,
I can't.
and I'm doing it, but yeah.
I was-
You try to like multitask, like you're driving, listening to an audiobook. Or
Oh yeah, that
you're doing
works.
something else, but you can't, like, when you hear something that's impactful that you want to remember, to whether it's your business or your life, you want to incorporate. I like to take that note and write it down. I do it on my phone sometimes, but I mean, it's just not the same.
Right.
Actually, the book is awesome.
I like the book.
I like it.
I tried to cheat code some of C.S. Lewis's stuff through listening to it while working. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's not the same as actually reading it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't.
So,
But I can listen to a podcast, but I can't listen to a
I,
book.
I
Yeah.
can listen to
Matthew
a book.
Weimer said, "How about real maps?"
Oh, real maps.
I still,
Hell yeah.
I keep them in every truck we have.
That's old school.
What
If
is
you
it?
have paper map and
Oh,
it's
maps?
maps.
Oh,
yeah, but
yeah.
we
And
have
driving-
we have like the books.
Yeah, driving or fishing.
I used to have them.
Driving or
Yeah.
fishing. And I still
Yeah.
use paper maps both.
So
ways.
I used to have 4 maps. These map books, they were red and they were for each state. And that's how I found lakes.
right.
Oh yeah.
I had
This is pre-satellite image.
this is before before the internet.
Right.
I had like New Jersey, I had Pennsylvania, New York, and Delaware.
Yeah.
And you would open up and you'd find the greenest area and you'd find a lake in the middle and try to find that road that led to it.
Yeah.
And that was it, man.
Now,
Remember
Pete,
globes, Pete?
Do you still? Globe.
Pete used a sextant.
Pete's a
Compass.
Pete never had a globe because he's a flat earther. But,
Can we talk about that later?
yeah, we will. That's the after show. Do you still carry paper maps with you in your fishing tournaments, or are you totally done with them?
Man, it's I haven't carried them lately, but I do like to have a map, and I just haven't done it in the last couple tournaments, but I tack them up. Like, I don't carry them with me in the boat anymore.
Right, but you have it in
But
your room.
I like
or
to have it in
house
the
or-
room and
yeah.
the house.
Above
So
the
we're
bed.
eating breakfast and dinner. We can look at the map, see where you practice that day,
Right.
try to put patterns in. Like when water comes in, like it did on Champlain, you can try to visualize
Yeah.
its impact. You can't do that on
Yeah.
the sonar screen
Yeah,
on
yeah.
your phone. So
Yeah,
Jake has not been exposed to maps at all.
right.
So
Yeah.
Dude, remember sitting Indian style on the floor, like eating a massive bowl
Yeah.
of Cocoa
Oh,
Puffs?
yeah.
You'd have your
Yeah.
notepad, like listing the,
Oh, yeah.
that was something about that.
Yeah.
Magical, man.
Yeah.
I love that. We at our booth at ICAST, this group that they teach teachers how to teach kids how to fish. Like, they do a lot of stuff for the Boy Scouts. They have classes for teachers, like for parents that want to teach their Cub Scout group
Okay.
how to fish for bluegills.
Yep.
Or,
Oh
or
my
trout.
God, are you kidding me? Wait till those liberals pervert fishing with their goddamn idea. So these aren't fishermen.
Wait a minute.
These are regular liberal teachers being taught how to fish.
no.
Oh my God.
No,
How-
you're-
the barbs are already gone.
You're-
The barbs are gone. Barbs are gone. The hooks are rounded off.
It's 1 pound test. Every
Yeah.
fish gets broke off.
Oh my
It's
God.
just Velcro.
How about
Just
that?
Velcro.
Oh my.
That went way south fast, and I didn't even see it coming.
I didn't either.
No, but it's
Absolutely
Because that's not what's going on,
no enticing
you
any
know?
bedfish with any color other.
no.
No white lures getting
No.
thrown on the beds.
Zero white lures.
Well, my point is,
Everything.
Oh, this will be the
translucent.
last reunion show we do for a while, huh?
It's all recyclable material. So
Sorry,
the
Pete.
point is he had a map.
Right.
He had a map, and they were still using maps to identify lakes and creeks and
Sorry.
rivers.
The point was
And,
maps.
I'm sorry.
I was playing off the map dialogue, Dave.
that was so awesome. I love that. All right, Brian, let's go to you. I know
Oh, me?
we've been in touch. I know some big changes going on. I really want to talk about the Bass After Dark. Talk about that a little bit. Great. How's it been going? You a year in now, or
No, we started in November.
start November? Okay.
Yes, we're getting close to a
Working on
year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How's everything going with the new show?
good.
Good.
It's been fun, man.
Has been fun, hasn't
Yeah, working with him is a lot of fun.
it? Okay. That's
Yeah,
cool.
he's special.
Yeah.
He's pretty awesome.
Are there similarities or are there mainly differences between the Ike Live show or Bash U Live or what? How would you
I
describe?
would say
it?
a lot of differences.
A lot of differences.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brian doesn't have to produce
Well,
it.
he's working with the Charles Xavier of bass fishing,
That's
dude.
true.
Like,
That's true.
you know,
I came up with some ideas. For
Ken
you.
kind of looks like him too, minus the wheelchair.
he's Professor X.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
Professor.
He's a
X.
mobile X.
I actually had a conversation with somebody recently, and I was like, that would be a great topic for you.
Go ahead with it.
guys. You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
So, I don't remember who I was talking to. I was at ICAST, and we were talking something about like the timing of getting into professional bass fishing, and
That it's the worst time ever.
Yeah, 20 years ago?
The crux of it is more like at what stage of your life, like as an angler, does it make sense? So like you have Trey McKinney, who's like super young, and people are like, oh, he should have gone to college, he should have got more experience, that kind of thing. But then the other conversation was there's folks who have had careers, maybe in their 30s, 40s, they've got families and everything, but then they've decided, oh no, wait, I don't want to, like midlife crisis almost, like, oh, I don't want to like miss out on that dream of mine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go bass
Well, they're
fishing.
selfish, but go
Right.
ahead.
So to me, I'm like, that's the most insane thing ever because fishing is gambling. Why would you do that? So like, I almost was thinking about, I was like, that'd be a great topic for you guys. Like, should you dive into bass fishing as
I mean, right now everything's trending young,
it is?
and it'd be interesting to see if these young guys are going to be replaced by young guys
Grade
in
schoolers?
5 years or something.
What's Duke's take on it? Because we've been saying
He
this
does not.
for
He does.
years
He's
that
against
No.
restricting
He's against
technology.
No,
Florida-based
no,
in
I'm
Arizona.
talking about this
Okay.
component of it, like the age thing. Because we've been saying this forever. We've had Ken on the show. He's been our guest host a bunch of times, and it was like everybody says it's trending young, trending young. He's like the data does not support it. The data says.
Yeah, but was
the-
that this year? Did he?
I'm just saying, has it changed? No, and I haven't talked to him about it in the last year, but I've talked to him recently, like in the previous year, and he was still like the data doesn't support it. The tournament winners' average age has not gone down. The classics winners' age has not gone down. He's
Has this
really
See if we get
been
some
on that
update on.
soapbox.
Has this year?
Has it updated yet? Because it really seems like it should, it has made that
Yeah.
turn,
Yeah.
in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
What's Ken say? What say you, Mr. Duke?
What say you?
What say?
If he's still awake.
I love how Brian's update became into like Ken Duke.
Yeah,
we're
I know.
all Ken.
I know.
He doesn't want the attention, but he deserves it. He's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. In his office, which is floor to ceiling, 12-foot ceilings of books and just a path to get around.
Rich mahogany.
Rich mahogany,
Wow.
leather. There's this shelf that's that long and like 13 binders of every article on every bass 18 pounds and up
Dang.
Wow.
by decades.
Dang.
Wow.
Like he's found and printed out and categorized. He's got all the large
How
mouth.
many of
He's
those were snagged by
Wow.
Mike Long off the bed?
probably a couple.
A couple of
But I mean, like nobody's paying him to do that stuff.
them. Right.
He
Did
can't,
any
he can't
books-
turn it off.
Brian, did any book shock you? Did you
Books?
see any book that he had that you were like, I can't believe he read that?
No, there's too many. I just couldn't even look.
He didn't have Hillary Clinton's To Raise a Village?
Did he have?
Is that a book?
Did he have? Pam
Is that a book?
That's
did,
her book.
Did he
Damn
have?
They called it Mein
Pam
Kampf.
Anderson's Guide to Tantric Sex?
Nah, but maybe.
Did you make that up?
I made that up.
You definitely made
I
that
wish
up.
he had that book though. I'd read it.
But like while we were
But
there,
the old Pam Anderson.
in old
doesn't
like
do it.
was it 30s issue of Field and Stream showed up that he had been chasing down on
like eBay
From the
thing?
eBay.
30s.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah,
That's cool.
just to get the because Field and Stream would publish twice a year their contest. They had the big fish contest of the year. They were like 1 month be freshwater, another salt.
Oh, that's cool.
How old's Ken?
62.
Does he have kids?
Nope.
We got to figure out who's going to maintain that library. Ken's got to figure that out. He's got to find himself like a
No,
Luke,
he's-
like a Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I can tell you this: there's a general, a
I
general
like that's
feel.
what we have to figure out for him.
Well, all that curation.
Well, here's
they're
what
just going to come in and go.
here's what I'm
it's
telling
not,
you.
They're not even going to. They're not even going to like do an estate sale.
we just talked
That
about
stuff will just
how
go right
this
to the dumpster.
movement of
Stop
the
it.
sport is to young guys, right?
Yeah.
I won't name anybody, but I could 100% tell you there's a general disinterest in the history of the sport.
There is, but
100%.
but there's
What do you mean?
so there's a kid that
do you mean by
came to
that?
ICAST, and I became friends with him this year. He's from Jersey.
yeah.
David Park, and his Instagram or and his YouTube, his TikTok is DCAM.
Yeah.
And he just started this stuff a year and a half
With a
ago.
C or a K?
Okay. He's
Oh.
really
Jake showed me his stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's really smart, and he digs into the analytics, and he
Nice.
knows how to work the algorithm. But he also, in addition to making his fishing content with the chesties or whatever, he also is really interested in the editorials and the history, and does videos on that. And that's what caught my. He's the anomaly. And I saw that, and I saw his interest, and I reached out to him, became friends with him, and have been talking to him for a while. I actually just met him in person for the first time at ICAST here, and we hung out a lot. And he's part of the group now with Eric and everybody.
Yeah.
But I wanted to connect him with Ken and Terry.
Yeah, get him in
They
the will.
have that history.
Right.
He can get it out to the kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's pretty awesome. And he really, actually, Friday after ICAST, him and a couple of his buddies came back to Ken's. Ken's like 30 minutes from Orlando, from where the expo was. They came back, and Ken showed them all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
And it was awesome.
Tell Ken to open the books and get him in the living will. That's our curator for all that knowledge.
Could be. That could be the
We
hand-me-down.
make a note on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make a note of that.
But that's how it happens. He could
Nice.
take that and get it to the kids on those platforms.
No one can, like the younger generation isn't as enthralled with history as we were. Like growing up loving football, loved seeing like old Earl Campbell and Jim Brown videos of them trucking dudes. Like the newer guys don't care about seeing like first year Tom Brady or any of that stuff. They just
Right.
don't. It's just
Right.
a different mindset because they're
It
programmed
is.
differently. They
Yeah.
have so much information available. They don't have any nostalgia. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just being old.
agree with that.
I see it out on the tournament trail. Like we got so many new faces, like in the opens and this year at the Toyotas. Like it's a changing dynamic. They have no idea of the history. Like people will come up to you. You won here before? Like they don't. They have no idea.
People are
you know?
handing you their keys and their fish rag.
Yeah.
And they don't even know who you are. They don't even know you're Pete.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
the old guy doing
Yeah.
here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
here, Santa.
You know it's bad. When,
Santa.
yeah, you know it's bad when young kids are like Santa. Oh, terrible. It's gotta be. Yeah, it's a different world right
Yeah.
now.
Different faces out there,
It is.
but they're not getting that nostalgia. They're not getting the.
But they're gonna.
Is the Hall of Fame?
But it's not their fault. We have to teach them.
Yeah. Where's that? Where does that lie? Like, where are we missing the mark there? Who's missing the mark?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Well, Bassmaster took the initiative and did that nice series on the history of the sport.
They do a good job.
Yeah.
But it's on Fox.
Yeah, but
right?
who's watching that?
That's what I mean.
The
It's
people
on.
who care, the old people.
I mean,
Let's be honest.
Right.
I'm just trying to be honest. So if you watch Bassmaster, MLF, any of those shows, and you don't know about tournament fishing, you're tuning out 5 minutes in. Like if you don't know how it works, you don't know the people involved, you're bored and you're out.
Yeah.
So where are the kids going? They're going to YouTube. They're going to someone who's going to entertain them. Bass and MLF have not done anything to like draw in a younger demographic, explain it to them, make it fun to them. They haven't. They've done the exact same thing they've always done, and it caters to people who already know exactly what's happening.
So Tim Pool was talking about this very thing, not with Bassmasters, but with CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News. In 10 years, their average viewer will be dead or close to death because of the demographics. I wonder
Right.
what Bass's demographics are and if they have a lifespan similar to the mainstream press or
Yeah.
the legacy press.
I wonder. That's a good question.
I would say it's similar. You know, it's definitely older.
Death spiral.
Yeah, interesting.
Sad. Let's just get sadder. Ready to talk
All
about
We'd like to close the show on that.
Let's close the show.
Everything must burn.
If you're watching and you bass fish, take up another hobby immediately.
Yeah, start hunting. No one,
Start
how come
smoking weed.
the hunting
do
world don't
something
have this
different.
problem? How come in hunting don't have this problem? Why did fish? Why do we have to screw fishing up?
Maybe they do.
Well, the competitive.
Because there's no competitive hunting.
Right. In shooting sports there is, but in actual hunting, it's not there.
They're not even having these conversations.
Yeah.
They're just out there killing stuff.
But I see the opposite with Jake. Like Jake, all of a sudden in the last year, he's all in. Like
Right.
he's consuming. He was just watching Jay Shakurit's forward-facing sonar. You know, some social.
Yeah.
He's all into Jay now, and he's like, I want to fish like him.
It's Jay's smile that drew him in.
Your
Yeah.
boy shows up. Your boy shows up on my Insta. Like, you know, on Instagram, it'll be like suggestions to follow.
Yeah.
Dude, your dude is there. Like anytime I get
Well,
like,
Yeah,
just
so-
follow him and he'll stop
Yeah,
showing
yeah.
up.
It's
Pete's kid, dude. Support the man.
No, Dave can't follow him because if Dave follows him, then the virus will be transmitted to Jake's site.
oh yeah, then Jake's going to be getting like truther
Right.
stuff on his stuff, dude.
Don't
Well,
follow.
Instagram still bans everybody, so they ain't have to worry about that. There, he's got to come over to Telegram, and I'll
If
tell
you
him
see
what to
Dave
watch.
follow Jake, unfollow right immediately.
Block.
Immediately
On
right?
Telegram, I'll teach him up.
That's awesome. All right, Brian. What else is going on? Shoulder surgery,
Mm.
right? Was a couple three.
Mm.
I'm bringing up
February.
all the-
Pain med addiction.
That was February.
Dude, they gave me like 10 days.
10
So,
days,
yeah, I'm
imagine that was
still
it?
dealing it, and it was in February. Yeah,
Okay,
10
well,
days.
how's the recovery going? How's that?
Really good.
Okay.
Like the last month and a half, things have gotten a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
mobility's good luck.
Whoa! Look
I
at
did
He
that.
lifted his arm up. See
I
that?
lifted,
I
I
saw it.
lifted my arm.
And you went
Oh.
palm
And
down.
then-
That's
and then
hard.
and then he rubbed it.
Shit, that hurt.
My bursitis.
Yeah, but
So,
the knee, something's wrong with that now.
Oh,
The
God.
leg?
My knee.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully by the time we get to Pete, we're not talking about dentures for crying out loud. 'Cause fucking no young people are going to watch your show ever, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
this
shoulder's
Sensodyne
doing
on
good.
my teeth, and
Yeah.
You know,
they're itching.
so at ICAST,
Sensodyne.
Eric and his
My
boys were
cords are
there.
killing
Yeah.
me.
And then I just hung around them a bit, at the show, and just saw their group
Yeah.
and how much it's growing, and the other
Uncle Larry's crew.
the
Yeah.
Uncle Larry's crew and the other players involved and hood fishing, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of encouraging stuff there.
That
There
is
was.
encouraging.
Maybe
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
maybe not like directly tournament fishing, but
Right.
it was fishing, and it was, in my opinion, it was for the right reasons.
Yeah. Well,
There was some influencer type fishermen that I didn't feel like were in it for the right reasons.
Right.
Maybe started a lure company and took over. But like, I feel like these kids are, I thought it was just a lot of
Good
positive energy,
Lot of
good
energy.
energy, a lot of good energy, good kids.
Yeah. Well, Beck, would you agree with this statement? What Brian was just talking about, using hood fishing, and Eric's got using it as an example.
Hood
You
fish.
don't have to tournament fish
Right.
to have an impact and grow the sport, right?
Right.
You do not have to, right? So
Fishing is bigger than tournament
it's
fishing.
bigger than that.
And
So-
tournament people forget that.
Yes.
right. I think a lot of guys assume that you have to be a Bass Pro Tour or an elite guy to have an impact on the sport. Dude, that's so far from the truth.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to. And I think that number's smaller than the big pie of people that fish.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Way smaller.
Way
100%.
smaller.
Yeah.
Way smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake's always bringing these guys to me. Like, Dad, look what this guy's, teaching.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jake, unfollow that man.
You discredit
you were
him.
gonna I
The teaching
discredit
part,
them immediately.
does aggravate me too.
It's like you were gonna I am gonna have to
Yeah, but what-
unteach everything
Right.
that you're being taught.
Right. From a teaching competitive standpoint, maybe that's true. But what about just getting, a 14, 13, 14, 15-year-old
Get
kid?
them excited about
Just
it.
get them excited about grabbing a rod,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
going
like
on.
the Uncle Larry's guys, the biggest thing there is that like it's exciting, it's fun, like go out fishing. Like they just make it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. That kid Kai's entertaining. My son likes him.
Like
Yeah.
they're 40 years old and Vegas thinks that they're his age.
They're 40.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's like, dang.
Shit.
Kidding.
They're not out.
I'm not.
What happened?
So Pete, you're always like bah humbug and Jake's follows.
Not always, but
I get it.
I
Pete.
get
understand.
guys that are like, I can't believe these guys are putting this out like as an authority.
You're like
The
James
fishing
Earl Jones
school.
in The Sandlot. Like Jake comes into your study and you're just like, bah.
Yeah.
The best story is Jake came in one night. Pete was like on the couch watching the Eagles or whatever.
The
and
Eagles.
Jake's like, look at this dude. He's like teaching all this great stuff. Pete grabs, snatches the fucking phone out of Jake's hand, hits unfollow, never yells right in Jake's face, never go to that site again. And it was Dave Lefevre. So it's a really good story.
Nobody would
Hey,
Yeah.
question
he
you
was,
on that.
He was
Pete.
up ranting pro Trump. Dave, you should be
Who?
hanging out with Dave.
I'll
Lefevre
hang out with
was.
him. I'll have a beer with him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Who the hell isn't pro Trump
He's
by
got-
now?
He's got
Where were you people in 2016? Look at me, their Trump shit now. People are giving me the middle finger, flying my flag on my truck. Where was that at? Where was that? Now everyone's, oh, Trump.
Feel
Get
righteous
out of here.
now.
Too late.
Do we need a potty break?
I see a couple guys taking a potty break. I did want to. I wanted to take a break, but Pete, let me go to you, and I want to get a catch up with you, and then we'll take a potty break. How's everything? I know I get to catch up with you all the time, so
Yep.
fishing with Jake is great. Obviously,
That's-
I love that. I
Yeah.
love it. I see it. I think it's great.
It's
But
killing.
Bash University, catch us up. How's all that stuff going?
Can you believe it happened with Jake?
Dude, it's amazing.
Like,
it's
I
amazing
mean-
because I remember how many years ago. I remember you really trying to get him to like it.
I
There were
slow-
obstacles.
I slow played it so bad. I'm like, we'd go out and the fish on the Chesapeake would be like blowing up on frogs or something so awesome for us.
yeah.
And he would be like, can we go tubing now?
Oh,
You know? Can we beach the boat and go hike?
Yeah.
Or can we jump boat waves? That was his favorite. Like,
Yeah.
and still,
how old is he
Yeah.
at this point with the jumping?
really until last year.
Wow.
Like the boat would be in the driveway. I'd have a rare weekend and I'd be like, man, we could go do this. We could go to Delaware.
Yeah.
Maybe we could travel and go to Champlain for a couple days,
Yeah.
and
He don't even know he's with like the Bill Belichick of the Upper Chesapeake.
yeah,
He wants to go jump waves with the.
dude. I mean, we are jumping. Let's drive to the ocean. Can we drive to the ocean, Dad?
That's something.
And
Launch at Gloucester City and make it all the way to
Yeah.
Cape May.
yep.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. I love, I just like spending time with them, and we're outdoors and we're doing that stuff. And
What
we
was
would
the
fish a little
moment,
bit.
though? Like, can you
Your tournament.
You can pinpoint.
I can pinpoint it to your tournament, the Union Lake tournament.
Wow.
Just recently, where he got
Last
that
summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Last summer, at the Ike Foundation
Yeah.
tournament, where I always ask them, "Do you want to fish?"
Yeah.
Like, Brendan's coming over. It's
Yeah.
always, and
Fortnite.
he's like, nothing going on. Fortnite is back. Oh
Yeah, I
God,
know.
I want to kill myself.
Minecraft's
They-
back too. The high
they-
schoolers are doing it.
Oh, they
God.
updated Fortnite and all. They're all back now.
Yeah.
But so, anyways, last summer at the Ike, and I'm like, Union Lake. You want to go check it out? We'll go fish it. And we went there, and we're fishing the offshore gravel, shell bed, whatever's out there, and right away he catches a
4-pound smallie.
he catches a big smallmouth. I can't remember now.
I think it was a 4.
Yeah.
He did catch a 4.6.
Yeah.
Did you have
He-
him, Bry?
he-
Oh, okay.
He caught
Nah.
it. He caught like a 2.5,
Pete won't
And-
let him fish with anyone else.
and then he got a 4.6, and then he slept the rest of the tournament.
Dang.
Wow.
But then
But that was a spark.
Accolade when he got the
Dave
accolade.
Haas weighing the fish in. He's like, "Oh, look at the size of this fish," and he got people he got excited about it. People are congratulating him. He won the tournament.
Yeah.
He got the cool trophy.
Yeah.
That's still up in his room, and and when he got home from that, he fished every day for 2 weeks.
Dang.
And,
Heck
and,
yeah.
and then he went back to video games a little bit, but never really like
Yeah.
it was before.
Yeah.
That's
It-
beautiful.
It was always, and then it was, hey, Jake, I want to go out on the river. The tides, tide looks good. We got a morning low tide,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, I'm in. 4 o'clock in the morning, 15 minutes, he's ready to go.
Wow.
You got him amped to go on the Delaware River?
Yeah.
Wow.
He loves
Dude,
it.
I went and looked at a job in your neighborhood, and as I'm there, I was just getting ready to leave. It was kitchen remodel, and I guess I had my hat on backwards like this, and I hear this kid come in. He's like, or I hear somebody come in. He's like, "Is that a Bass U hat?" Turn around, they're like, I don't know, how old's Jake?
He'll be 15.
So his kid was like 14, 15, something
Yeah.
like that. I was like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, my buddy Jake's dad. That's his stuff. I'm like, oh shit. So he's got a whole posse of
He created a little mob.
yeah.
And I
Mob.
I hope he's not listening, but strategically I'm doing that. Like I'm wanting him to, like, I take his buddies out
Yeah.
all the time, and we'll go out on the Delaware. I'll teach them how to fish. Get them right on the juice at low tide, and they'll catch 1 or 2 or 3. We were out on we named this weed corner
One of my
on the
spots.
Chesapeake, Jake's Corner. We had me, Jake, and 2 of his buddies. We caught 54. I didn't catch. They caught 54 bass
Wow.
in
Dang.
one day
That's insane.
on this corner.
Dang.
And one of them was Tanner, and now Tanner is he's fishing this week
Yeah.
at the Nationals, and
Wow.
they're kind of building this crew.
Yeah.
Jake started a fishing club at his high school,
Wow.
and it got approved. In
1 year.
got through in 1 year. It got through all the red tape, but he can't start having meetings till the fall.
Wow.
So he's going to have a high school fishing club. He's already got 15 kids just in his freshman class that signed up. The sophomores, juniors, and don't even know about it
Who's
yet.
going to be the coach? You?
No, they have to have a teacher coach, but I'll be an advisor.
Teaching the teacher.
Yeah, I'll teach the teacher.
Yeah.
And
Oh my God.
so yeah,
Just real quick,
we're
to
excited
touch
about that.
base on what Brian just said, right?
Chef,
It's
everybody.
funny. All right. Yeah.
he always gets an applause.
He's chef.
He's like Raul on Sanford and Son. Every time he's in a room, like, oh, you crazy fool. And I'll be like, still clapping in the audience.
So it's
Sorry.
just before Thanksgiving, right? I got one of your Bass U sweatshirts on. I go in, do my thing. I come out, and the lady stops me. I'm like, she's like, yeah, your sweatshirt. My son is the only one I ever seen wear that before. I said, oh, what's his name? I think his name was Glenn. I could be wrong. I may be wrong. But the lady recognized me inside the TD Bank with the
Nice.
sweatshirt on.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, Bass U. I'm like, yeah. Do you know Pete? I was like, hey, maybe you know Pete. I don't know. Maybe somebody you know. I don't know. The
Beautiful.
lady was like, yeah, my son. He has one too. I'm like, oh, yeah, nice, whatever.
Chef
I
and the
get out.
lady at TD Bank.
Yeah.
2 blocks later, the lady beeps at me. Like, hey!
She's
I thought it
stalking.
was funny.
Bass
It was
U.
That's
funny.
awesome.
Chef, you
See
crazy
me with
fool.
My hand out the window. I had a cigarette, probably. I was smoking. But she beeped at me. Hey, Bass U.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's awesome.
I thought that was
Very
funny.
recognizable
that-
brand.
heck yeah.
Pete.
Look at that.
That's a beautiful
You're
testimony.
brand. That.
It's
Thanks,
a
Chef.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Chef.
Chef.
We've been building this brand for 15 years, Mike.
Yeah, long time.
It's over 15 years,
Yeah.
and it's taken a life of its own. Like the just the shield with the bass will stand alone. Like people recognize.
Oh
it.
yeah.
And like down at ICAST, I mean, it's just it's constant. Every time you're at the boat launch, like people are coming up and thanking you for helping their fishing.
Yeah.
They're watching it, they're using it,
Yeah.
and it's
Victory
helping them.
hooks. Thank you for the logo.
That's cool. Well, I've had those experiences like Chef has had with a Bass U something on, but
Yep.
it's wrong. I'll be at a gas station pumping, and it'll be like, "Hey,
Pumping.
Bass University, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. I want to join. I play bass too. Boom, boom.
Oh shoot!
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I get to the point where I don't even want to explain it.
Maybe
anymore.
we should combine. Maybe we should start that.
You
Like
think bass and bass?
bass and bass.
Well, a lot of people that play
There you
bass
have
out there. So
But your son has started his own little posse. Tell him the story about the phone call you had the other night
I
when
don't
Vegas
remember.
was out on the water.
Oh, so yeah, so same story.
Mhm.
Neighborhood kids that were into other stuff, whether it was video games or another
Graffiti.
sport. Not graffiti, but
Well, let's be honest though; these kids are all looking for independence, but we have a weird world we live in right now. So,
Right.
like, as conscientious parents, like, what do you let your kids do? Like,
Helicopter.
we're not dropping them off at the mall. We're not, you know what I mean? Like, so what are they going to do? So Vegas and a lot of his friends have all been like, let's meet out at the lake. And they, like, a couple of them have John boats. They all meet out there. They fish, they dive in the water, like whatever. They act like
Boys.
It is
Boys.
cool. It's a
That's
good
cool.
release.
boys,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's like safe. So all of us are kind of like, just go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Mike gets a call. 'cause
Yeah, so I
Vegas
get a
is out on the
call.
boat.
Vegas is out there. I get a call from Vegas. It's getting dark. Like,
Lost one of the girls.
Yeah, what the hell's going on? And Vegas is like, oh, we're coming in. We've caught a few. It's been a good bite, and I hear his buddy Connor in the back, and I can hear it like it's like he's right next to him. It's a crawdad, so the boat's this big. And he's like, oh, I'm snagged. And as I'm on the phone, there's like a pause, and Vegas goes, real, you got one, and hangs the phone up. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
And you wanna go see it.
I wait like 10 minutes, and Vegas calls me back. And the kid who like literally just started bass fishing,
Yeah,
within
yeah,
a
yeah,
year,
yeah, yeah.
whose PB was like a 2-pounder, catches a 5.5 pounder.
Wow. No.
And it's
Wow.
giant.
Yeah.
And dude, he
That's so
comes
cool.
back and won't stop talking about fishing. His dad picks him up. He's making his dad talk to me about fishing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Broke the bank at Dick's.
it's like that moment, right?
Mhm.
It's like that moment.
Yeah.
It's that fish,
Yeah,
or,
that's
or
awesome.
that Ike Foundation
Yeah.
tournament. It's
The,
that
the,
thing.
the,
Yeah.
not my PT doctor or whatever, but the guy who runs the place, his brother like lives on the lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they come out and fish, and his
Yeah.
kids are ate up with it.
Oh yeah.
Every time I walk in there just wanting to do my stuff, he comes over and talks to me about fishing.
Talks about fishing. Yeah, that's great.
But it's cool, man. I'm like,
It is
you
cool.
gotta bring him out to the Ike Foundation event,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
He'll
great
get put in a
event.
boat. Oh yeah.
My best advice, and I mean it worked. I guess I got lucky. I don't know, but was not put the kids in jail and take them out for 8 to 10 hours when they're 6 or 10, 8 or 10 years
Yeah.
old. And Dad, I just want to go home. And it's unfortunate because the dad he works all week. He can't wait to go bass fishing. He's been dying for this.
Yeah.
And he's got a day on the lake, and he just wants to go out. But the kid, after, depending on his maturity level and his interest, he might only be good for an hour or two.
Right.
And
Make it fun. Keep it short.
make it
As long as they
fun.
want to stay out.
Let them jump boat wakes. Let them go swimming. Let them, do whatever they do.
It could be
Yeah.
tough,
It-
especially when dad wants to fish.
when Dad wants to fish,
And he's a
it's
young dad,
so
and he's
tough. Because
yeah.
I've been there. I'm like,
Insane.
dude, we've been on vacation, Thousand Islands. We're on vacation. The last 3 years we've been going there. It's the greatest smallmouth fishery on the planet,
Yeah.
and I'm tubing all day. I'm chasing the ships up the river so I
Oh,
can jump
man.
those 6-foot boat wakes with the
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
and we're
Until-
swimming.
Until Vegas comes and crashes your vacation.
That
And
was
then they all go
awesome.
fishing.
Right.
That was the fishing week. That was the first time, which was last summer.
They fish
That
more
they-
than two.
That's all they wanted to do.
Wow.
It took 3 seasons, but I don't think it was anything that I did in particular, other than I didn't torture him with it.
Yeah.
It's just the maturity level.
Right.
Like you got to be able to endure the time or be interested in the time when you're not getting bites and have fun with that, trying to figure out the puzzle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you can't do that at 8. At 8,
Right.
you just want something pulling back
It's
every
tough.
5 seconds.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
You know?
Yeah. When
And-
Vegas was 8, I can remember noon, 11:30, noon,
Noon.
he was done.
Yeah.
You know? And now it's cool to watch him go the whole day.
Which is
intense.
impressive
Yeah.
though, because
You know?
we launch at 6 with those bass events.
Yeah.
So he would make it 6 hours, and then at 8, 9,
Yeah.
it's like at 8 noon done.
Yep.
Cooked.
There's a stat they drop at ICAST. The ASA drops, Ken drops. Of course, I don't know it, but it's something along the lines of like 85% of the people fishing started before they were 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a big stat
Yeah.
that they keep throwing around. And your tagline, "Catch them early,"
Yep.
is such a great
Hook 'em
thing.
early. Hook 'em early.
That's a good
Hook
one.
them early.
Yeah.
But it's but the key is like you guys do with your event. It's like 2 hours.
Yep.
You go out, you expose them, you have
Yeah,
fun,
fun.
and then you let them go do whatever they want to do.
Make it fun.
Like
Yeah.
Jake, like I said, Jake, when he fished that tournament at Union, he it was almost like, oh yeah, I got 2 big ones. I'm gonna sleep now. And he just slept, and I'm like, Jake, at least throw your bait out. Just
drag
it while you're sleeping,
Yeah.
But now he's engaged, so it's been fun. We're super excited. Talked to the BASS tournament director. We're going down to Chickamauga for the high school nationals next week. We leave Saturday, and oh man, I had the boys out yesterday on the Chesapeake, Max and Jake,
Yeah.
and I'm our research is saying that we might be punching because it's matted vegetation. So we rigged up some 1 ounce weights. Max was awesome. He was like, "What?" He was I had like all my weights like up to 2.5 ounces.
Yeah.
He's like, "You 2.5 ounces?"
Yeah.
He's like freaking out. Are we gonna have to use that? Like they're super excited to use something
Cannonball, dude.
unique,
Yeah.
and different.
Yeah.
And I got them both rigged up with 1 ounce weights, and they were punching, and it's not that good on the Chesapeake. Like the bass don't. It doesn't work that well, that technique there.
Right.
They, for whatever reason, they're outside the grass
Yeah.
there, especially this time of year. But he did turn like a bowfin or a snakehead. Max did, so he got to feel a bite, set the hook in a big, thick cheese mat. You know what I
that's
mean?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm preparing them for what it's going to be like, because we're probably
Right.
going to be fishing grass, and so we went out and did a little practice. And then shout out to Max and Jeremy. His dad is tireless. He'll he came down with us.
I'll
and
make a prediction about that tournament. It'll be one on LiveScope.
It'll be one on. You think so? All right.
Every tournament.
Yeah. Right.
Name one that isn't.
But Pete,
Yeah.
do you feel like Dave Haas might have like a voodoo doll, like that he pokes at,
He might.
that has your face on
He
it?
might.
Haas?
They won. Jake and Max won by 1/100th of a pound
Wow.
over Jake Haas's.
That's,
It was
that's
the
the weight of a
nephew's team.
boogaloo
It
day.
So-
was literally the craziest youth weigh-in I've
Yeah.
ever seen,
Yep.
and it was
Oh.
for nationals.
So that's the last
Drop of
one on
water.
the scale, right? The 100th's the last one, 10th's the first one.
Mhm.
Okay.
Who weighed in
It was
first?
8 Dave did. They had 8.51. Jake and Max had 8.52.
It was
Wow.
hard to be a spectator
Yeah.
when you're like invested in both those teams.
Yeah.
It hurt. It
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah.
Haas is a veteran. He should have known to have his kids weigh in after.
Haas had a good comeback though. He weighed in
20-pound bag.
pounds at Manasquan.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
really good. So that was a nice comeback.
And Vegas had 21 pounds at Manasquan.
You hear that?
Unbelievable.
I've never had
21-10.
21 pound.
21-10.
We were talking about it like because Jake and Max caught 20 pounds earlier in the year.
God.
Like, how many times does 20 pounds get caught in New Jersey waters?
Squan is
Like,
still fishing
three
like that?
times.
Yeah.
3 times this year.
3 times,
My
twice
kids.
in one day on
It's crazy.
Manasquan. It's
Those-
like
Those
nuts.
kids are amazing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
these kids are definitely doing stuff that is above where they should be for their age.
Mhm.
Whether it's shallow or deep
Yeah.
or whatever. They're doing stuff that we didn't do at 13 and 14. Dude, for crying out loud, we were fishing a fucking culprit worm. Whatever. We had 2 things we did. at
Well, they've
13,
got good
14.
teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
my God.
We
look at that.
got dropped off by our moms, by our
Yeah.
single
Yeah.
moms.
Yeah, and,
You
and
know,
the information exchange wasn't there. Like, we were reading magazines that were the story was written a year ago, waiting to be published.
Right.
And you were reading that and trying to go out and duplicate it.
Dude,
These guys are doing it real time.
Real time.
Like,
Dude, they've got the phone, they got shows, they got internet, they've got magazines, they got
YouTube,
Bash You, all this.
Come home to a square meal. We came home to ramen noodles, tang, and Lay's potato chips.
Yeah, and our information was Don Sky for crying out
right?
loud.
Nutrition's
How good
better.
is that information? You know, we had.
hey,
Don
that was
Scott.
great information.
That was actually good.
That was very good.
Don
Shout out to Don Skaluski.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Last time South Carolina, right? Wasn't
I
he?
believe so.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Good job with that too, Don.
Beck, let's take a break. We'll take a little pee break, and then come back, and we'll do a quick.
What do you got? Some stuff coming through?
See, even
No,
Becky.
no, I'll do
Becky's
it.
a bad producer too, bro.
Yeah.
Two.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it looks great.
We don't really have commercial breaks anymore, but we
Oh.
can make this work.
Well, we can have Chef will tell a story.
It's Kenny Huffman wanted him to sing.
Oh.
Yeah, sing,
Apparently,
I love
Chef
you,
has
baby.
a beautiful voice.
Wow. All right. So,
I hope that wasn't it.
do you have something that we can put up for a little break?
I got you. I got you.
All right. Listen,
I
hang in
got
there.
you.
We're gonna take a short little break. Like literally, what's it? Like a minute or two? What is it?
It's 3 minutes.
All right. We'll take a little
Perfect.
break. We're gonna take a leak. When we come back, ICAST recap, and then we can get into the whole Trump thing after that.
Well,
Hey.
let's talk about UFOs and Sasquatch.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Oh, the flat earthers.
Flat Earthers.
Man, you
Policy
guys
has always been
is
no
this real? You guys
politics and no religion.
Well, but look at
We don't talk
look at
about
all
boring,
the,
stupid-ass fish the whole
paraphernalia over here. Listen,
I stopped.
listen,
Stop going live.
hang in there.
Yeah.
Hang in there. 3 minutes.
You're not
we'll
live,
be right
Mike.
back. All right.
Do you fish for excitement? Do you fish for passion? Do you fish to get outside? Or do you fish to win? Abu Garcia for life. You know, right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, you know, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water. You know, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes. But they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, you know, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, you know, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high, and let these kids have an experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
No.
It'd be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation. Ecology, you know, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us.
Yeah.
We're proud of it.
I subscribe to Bass U TV, and so should you. Great place to learn about anything you want to know about bass fishing. You get it at Bass U. We got the best of the best.
I'm not just an instructor, I'm a subscriber.
I'm John Cruz, and I am a subscriber.
You can always learn, and watching Bass U is definitely helps with that. It's something that I like to do, and it's definitely something that you need to do.
If I'm still learning, you should be too.
Subscribe to Bass U because you'll learn how to catch a lot more fish.
Ike Live, brought to you exclusively by Abu Garcia.
Uncle Chef.
He has an uncle heir to him.
You're up.
And we're live. We're back.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We are back with a new Ike Live show. Of course, this is the reunion special. It's nice to have the old crew back together. It's like
Reunion.
old times. Want to remind everybody, if you're watching, I noticed
Use the code Ike Live on everything. On everything.
Use the promo code Ike Live. That's true.
You get $10
Ike
off
Live
a Ford
10,
pickup truck.
15, 20.
Yeah. Dude, that whole code thing was always a pain in the ass.
No one can ever remember it.
And here's the other thing, and I'll be honest with you, it's why
Did you
we
say you don't remember it? No. It's because
why
you
we
didn't have to do
really
any of the
steer
work.
away from it in the business. I don't know if Pete agrees with this or not, but
Oh, here we go.
like with Becky and I, we always steer away from companies that come in and say, I use a code, or whatever, because the reality, and I think the reality over the years with this show is hardcore fans that understood the dynamics of a sponsorship and stuff, right? They would use the code, but we would get a lot of people watching, whether they, whatever, and they would see Mystery Tackle Box or Dr. Squatch, right? They'd be like, oh shit, I want to
It works with certain things.
right?
When it's a $7 item that you can also pick up at Walmart,
right.
That code
but that's my point, right?
is crap.
We
Yep.
would sell them and we would make them aware of this amazing
yeah,
thing.
and they'll get it at Walmart for $7,
They'd get it-
but
they'd go to Amazon 99% of the time. They
Yeah.
go to freaking Amazon and get it, right?
Yeah.
So I am not a big believer in the whole code thing.
We struggled with that.
learn
Remember
the code.
back in the day before we preceded the internet. You remember that?
Yeah.
Like we get sponsorships and they would want to track sales somehow.
Right.
And we could never we could never do it.
Right.
Like we're doing all these articles, we're on TV when we get TV appearances.
Yeah.
There's no and they would use that, they would leverage that against you to
Yeah.
cut your contract.
Oh
deal
yeah.
every time.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
if you have a question or a comment, please chime in, dude. This I'm going to change topic, but this just came up because I was talking to somebody about it at ICAST, and then he reached out to me, which is the fact that, and I'll throw it with you, Dave. Is bass fishing today, from a business standpoint, better or worse than it was 10 years ago?
how's he gonna know?
Yeah, you're asking.
He's a fan of the sport.
All right, so hold on, Brian. So would you say the average fan, I know more about it or less? The average fisherman, do I know more about
Yeah,
bass
that's right.
fishing or less than the average guy?
Way more.
So let me speak for the average man. I'm not.
Go ahead.
I'm not on Bass After Dark.
Oh, you're not following bass fishing for the last 5 years.
So I
Fairness.
I think fishing has gotten gross.
There's that sweatshirt. Hey,
There it is.
Hey, more applause.
Are you trying to bang that old broad that was looking at you? What are you doing?
Way to watch. You think he
Chef,
ate?
Yeah.
Chef, you have to model.
Oh yeah,
You got to
do it.
get in front of the camera.
So we can do a quick
Do a
modeling.
dance.
Show him the
There
watch.
it
In case
goes.
she's watching.
That is the actual sweatshirt we were talking about
There he
earlier on
is.
the show.
Put that watch out there.
Show the bling, Raul.
He said that
All right, so
the lady at the bank liked him.
All right, so Dave, you use the term. Use that term again. You
It's
think
gotten gross.
gross.
What do you mean?
It was gross.
Gross.
It
What
was
do you mean by
gross.
that?
It was gross before the internet when guys were taking reel crawl and putting it on their line and on their guides to make it flow through the guides better. Like it just got it. Once guys were making money fishing, it got gross because they were
Well,
selling products.
Over commercialized, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
He's
the
sitting
things-
right here.
The thing, no, you're missing the point.
Jesus.
Hold on.
He can hear you.
When did he ever squirt any of his products all over? Like,
If you were paying attention.
You haven't been following,
yeah.
have
your line stuff. All right.
The archive.
best.
Eventually that has to come out of the archive. It
If
has
Eric can
to.
find it.
If Eric can find it, eventually it has to. But
Brian warned you.
my point
Ask
is this though, and I agree. I agree. Here's the thing: I do agree with that. It's sort of like a necessary evil, and I agree with what you're saying. But here's what pisses me off. Pete, we had this conversation before. How is bass fishing today in 2024? How's the classic worth less money? How are the payouts less? This is a good example because it was fresh on our mind. Justin Hamner won the Bassmaster Classic this year. Okay, he got invited back to his hometown, and it's a Justin Hamner Day, and then Bass invited him come down to Birmingham or Montgomery or wherever their office is now, and have a day at Bass. Outside of that, dude, they've done shit for him. Nothing. Hardly any PR, right? Like no media, appearances. Like that train that was there is not there anymore.
It used to be.
So we have
it left when ESPN.
It left when
Let's
ESPN
So we have a
left.
nostalgia problem.
I mean, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. And the guys, the young guys now aren't business savvy enough to know that. Knowing that, he should have went out and hired a publicist, right? He should have went out and hired his own publicist to track to get his own stuff done. But the organizations don't care. You know what I mean? And I just think today, bass fishing is it's at a better place.
How much of it is YouTube?
I don't know.
They take a significant portion of that viewership. There's so many stars of bass fishing that don't tournament fish.
Yeah, but the organizations should have, they should be motivated, right? Because not only would they be helping Justin, the classic winner, for crying out loud.
Okay, so back then there was bass fishing, and everything that happened in bass fishing came from BASS or FLW.
Or FLW. That's correct.
Everything.
That's correct.
How about now?
Now it's diluted, but
tremendously.
Why wouldn't Bass want to have
what have they
somebody
done?
in-house?
Yeah, but
promoting them.
But haven't they been doing that? Like IC Hamner on Bassmaster.com
on their own site.
Yeah,
but that's that same cut of the pie. That's that.
What if it's demographics?
Yeah.
Okay, so does the NFL have its own website? Like, do they cover their own sport? No.
Well, they
Bass
do have the
does.
NFL network.
Bass, right? But there's also ESPN, and there's all those other media outlets, true media outlets that cover the sport.
The point
Bass is the sport, and they cover the sport, and they make it hard for. And I'm not knocking them for it, but it's hard to get.
I'm disappointed that organizations aren't investing more in the growth of the sport and in their guys.
What if we broached the topic earlier where it's his age? What if the demographics don't care about a younger guy, but if it was, say, Skeet Reese was in Bass, or if it was Gerald Swindle,
they care less.
They would but the actual audience that's tuning in would care more. I don't know. I'm spitballing. I really don't know.
Here's another example. And
you're asking the wrong guy. Let's talk flat earth.
In what sport, right? In what sport or even entertainment business do you go to an event and not be able to purchase merchandise from the athletes or the singers or performers, right?
Like,
Chef, you go to a concert. You go to, what's your favorite band?
Hardy.
Metallica. You go to a Metallica concert. Dude, you've got shirts and hats, and why can't you go to a Bassmaster event? All you can get is a Bassmaster t-shirt. I want a Justin Hamner t-shirt. You just won the classic, cried out loud. I want a Swindle shirt. I want,
I get it.
Why is that not provided? Like
James,
it's crazy. It's crazy. I want a Vegas the Hammer hat.
So, but hold on. All right. So I guarantee you Vegas the Hammer would sell more hats than Justin Hamler would sell socks. All right. But my point is, how many people know? I never heard of this kid until you said it. I didn't even know who won the classic. I'm gonna be honest with you. Brian was right. You shouldn't ask me.
Right.
But the point is, the average guy doesn't know who Justin Hamler is that goes out and tries to hook a fish in the face.
Right. Well, maybe that's part of the problem. I don't know.
Interesting.
Got sidetracked.
Sorry.
But to Dave's point, that is the point right there. It used to be whoever won the classic, that was the Super Bowl of bass fishing.
Yeah.
It was like the highest thing, like the accolades, the name. It was like just thrown everywhere.
Yeah.
Where's that? Who's Justin Hamner?
I think,
and I'm not saying that to be mean to
No, I'm not either. I'm not trying to disrespect.
But where did we lose that's the guy that won the Super Bowl?
Becky, I think Brian's point's a very valid one. Is like things that happen
tremendously
now, like they're gone.
Instantly.
Like you used to win a Bassmaster tournament and you could celebrate that you were the guy for a month, 2 months till the next one, to the next article came out. Now it's gone. YouTube's out, with their next thing. You got the YouTube stars. They're just swarming it.
But that's because there's a million points of information coming in.
Yeah.
Same thing in politics. Like things that used to stick and ruin someone,
Yeah.
it's forgotten about because a day later someone did something worse, and there's a million
And
points of
there's
info
another,
coming
and it's
in.
happening
Yeah.
at lightning
Yeah,
speed.
yeah. It's the information war, right? Like,
Yeah.
But we also churn through anglers. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. We
Yeah.
bring them in as quick as we toss them right back
Yeah.
out. You
I
can
gotta-
come in, win a
but
tournament,
that's-
I gotta
and
say-
a year later,
But
you're
there's
gone.
turnover in all sports.
Mike, I'm looking at Jake, who is now invested in this sport. Dude, he knows who Jay Secure is.
Yeah.
Right? He's watching. He's fascinated with Taku Ito.
Yep.
Like mainly because I had texted him
The
con-
dice, the fuzzy dice.
I congratulated him on the dice thing,
Yeah.
and he texted me back, or what? Congratulated him when he texted me back. He goes, small dice, no good. Big dice, top secret.
The ones that you
Not no
put on
more.
the car
Yeah.
mirror
Jay-
is the ones you want.
Yeah,
From the rearview
exactly.
mirror.
The real,
Yeah.
but so he's getting engaged.
Yeah.
He's watching the tournaments when
Yeah.
they're on.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. A lot of kids. He's starting to get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing. They could do. I think they got a tough freaking job in the tournament organization's defense. Is like it's happening at lightning speed.
It's
Yeah, but they
so
created
much
this
coming out.
shit. So listen, Matt Weimer said Classic should be the end of the year. No sport starts the year with the championship. It
I would
worked
agree.
before. It worked before. But think about the world we live in now. Why would you hold the Classic
In the middle of the season.
in the middle of the season?
Makes
Yeah.
no sense.
It's
Well,
just it's like it's
the
totally
sense-
lost.
the
Why
sen-
wouldn't you change this now?
but has anyone ever asked them guys?
Yeah. Well, the answer. I'll give you the answer.
yeah.
They sell more booths. They get more people in the
February,
stands.
March.
They make more money when the Classic is in February and March.
They haven't tried the fall. When's
They
the last time
haven't
they
tried
tried
the
the fall?
They haven't tried
That
the fall.
argument
But they're good.
sucks.
They were always afraid to lose the hunting population.
Wait.
Hunting and
MLF
college
MLF
football.
is
end
going
the
later
season
this
in
year.
August. They end the season in August.
Or is it April?
Yeah.
MLF moved back this year.
It should. I agree.
I
It
know.
should be
They're
at the end of the season. I
They
don't.
don't modernize. They're like snails.
Yeah. Well,
Snails.
they have
Vegas
to.
loves snails.
It's fishing in general. It's generally 10 years behind. I mean, we started this podcast. The entire world listened to podcasts. When we started, it took forever to get people to listen to them. Now everybody in fishing's got a podcast.
Yep.
But
That's true.
so fishing in general is just 10 years behind
Yeah.
the rest of the.
Yeah, maybe the answer
Universe.
is there's not one reason. There's a lot.
There's,
Of
it's like everything. It's
Yeah.
always.
yeah, but I am.
But the
disappointed.
dilution. There used to be 3, 6, and 10.
Right.
You had 3 TV channels.
Right.
Now, how many are there?
Right.
Yeah.
Super diluted.
So it's the
I
opportunity is there now to get out, right? That wasn't there before, but now. So
Right.
Well, what is
I
Bass
had-
doing?
I had a conversation with Derek Hudnall. Excuse me, Dave.
Okay, good.
Derek publicly retired from top level fishing.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't making a
I'm surprised he
livable
was at
income.
ICAST.
right.
I saw him at ICAST.
Yeah.
He loves the industry. He wants to stay in it.
Really?
Yeah, he wants
Oh,
to. He's trying to find a way to
Just doesn't
to-
want to give his money away.
find a job. But his as a professional angler and his current, sponsorship base and his winning percentage, it doesn't add up.
Right.
And it's that way for most guys. Sponsorship dollars are, especially now in this economy, are on the downturn. Guys are struggling to do it. I'm impressed that he publicly just announced that and said, hey,
Right.
this isn't working. I can't win enough money, and I don't have the sponsor backing, but I want to stay in the sport.
Yeah.
I think there's a ton of guys like that. I think the sport continues to suffer that way. I've always hated it. You make the elites, dude, you get $100,000 bill.
Yeah.
He always said
You
that.
get $100,000 bill to make
Yeah.
to make the top level. It's just a recipe for disaster
Yeah.
for most guys.
Do you think that changes? Like, do you think for two-part question? First part, how soon before there's just BSS? Like, how soon before there's just one major organization?
That's a great question. I mean, that MLF, man, I've been hearing this forever. MLF, how are they staying in business? How are they doing it? The people aren't watching. The people aren't following.
Erase whatever three-letter name we're talking about. How soon before there's just one major?
I don't
tour?
know. I
No, but
can't
it
answer that
needs to
question. I
happen,
don't know
though.
that it'll happen.
I don't think it's going to happen.
And then if that does happen, does your question
How
you
can it
always
happen?
said
'Cause-
about getting a bill when you make the big leagues, does that ever change?
I don't know that it ever. I don't know that it ever will. We Mike, you've tried this diligently. The anglers have tried to organize and try to be a business that can deal with
Never
the
works.
tournament organization, and we just never can get everybody on the same page.
It's a shame.
You know, as a result, you know, especially in a tough economy like this, the anglers get punished. They get punished because they are the first ones on the, you know, the cutting room floor, man. They're when budgets get tight, they're the first ones to go.
Advertisements are first to go.
Well, and here's the other thing. So the advertisement dollars are not going to the tournament side because the tournament anglers will find their way there. It is what it is. Like we've all seen that every major corporation in the fishing space has all these different agencies they work with to target, like, okay, here's the Hispanic demographic, here's the female demographic. So their money is going to get people into the sport to buy their products, to spend money, and they're pulling it from the tournament side.
Could be.
So you like
like other youth sports, like, oh, it's football, it's soccer, it's wrestling, it's like you put your kids in, like they know that stream is just coming, it's coming,
Right.
it's coming. Bass fishing, it's not the same.
No, I get it.
So the money is put into like, how do we get more? How do we get more? How do we sell more product? Where do we have to find? Right now, it's all about women. There's like,
why though? It's just like the WNBA. Like no one watches that. Women will fish. There are women who fish and are really good, but most women don't want to fish. They just go there. It's like hang out with their husband or boyfriend. That's it. They do it just. Oh, what? That's controversial. That's the truth, man.
that's slightly offensive,
Oh,
Dave.
stop
but
it.
But I take no offense to anything.
Come
Like,
on.
you
Who?
didn't
What
offend
woman
me.
can't wait to go fishing?
No. Listen.
There's a couple. Caitlin Clark is awesome.
Don't name me the exceptions. What
I'll watch
average
it.
wife can't wait to go fishing? Heather Stockel can't wait to get in a boat. Come on, dude. My wife, so kayak, but she don't want to fish.
Mine hadn't been in a boat.
When the last time your wife purposefully went and casted a rod?
She refused.
I'm just
to
saying,
cast.
let's not act like that. You know.
But here's the thing, like just
Yeah, but
like
remember
we
where
should
you are.
introduce- no, I'm not offended. But the point is, like, as we introduce fishing to youth, we should introduce it to both genders. But to try to get women into the sport of fishing as adults and put so much money behind that confuses me.
Is there?
It also confuses me. Hold on, because this bothers me. The Bassmast her thing as a female, and I know everyone thinks I probably don't have a vagina, but I do.
She has a vagina.
Who thinks
But no,
that?
wait. I'm just joking. But listen. I don't want to
comment.
be seen as a separate person. I want to be respected in the industry for what I do, not because I'm a woman who did what she did. Like I work just as hard as anybody else. Like, so whenever we do this whole gender thing, we're like, well, here's women and let's do this for them because they did this in our sport. That offends me. Like,
So
but it's women in Bassmaster that are pushing that.
I know it
But hold on.
bothers me.
All right.
I'm a layman with this, Becky, and I rely on you. Are like fishing companies sending money, like doing advertising toward getting broads into fishing? Like, is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Broads,
Yeah.
broads is an offensive term.
I wish we could pull, if there was any possible way we could pull that picture up, it would be great right now. But if not, I do want to play devil's
Why would they do that though?
But let me play devil's advocate.
Girls don't want to even get the hook. You know what? If you want to market something, market a way to get the hook out of the fish's mouth, because that's what most women don't want to fish for. Because they got to deal with the hook and the mouth.
Yeah, but
listen, there's women who fish, so support them just like you support the men. But don't single them out. Like you don't have to have.
I don't know. I like it from the standpoint that I played devil's advocate. I like it because you're creating role models for little girls, right? You know, Vegas, your sister's 11, right? Is that how old she is? 11 or 12. She's 11. Dude, I want her to be able to turn on fishing and have a role model. I want her to be able to pull the magazine.
Yes, but why can't that woman get here the same as a man?
Well,
What do you mean? Why can't she?
Why can't she?
Becky's saying, why don't they just enter the mainstream tournament system?
Why? This
don't?
isn't football or basketball. This isn't a sport where why would it be different? You don't have to have like muscles or a bit. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think it is different. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want her to have role models. I totally agree with you, but why do we have to make a point to be like?
I mean, that's just what society does. I mean, when the Redskins quarterback won the Super Bowl, I think that somebody asked him, "So how long you been a black quarterback?" You know?
Yeah, Doug Williams.
Doug Williams.
Hey, it's
It's
like
just
all
stupid.
my life.
Pretty much as long as I've been a
Yeah.
quarterback.
Yeah.
But that's it's just like,
But
yeah,
what
whatever.
they don't realize they're doing is they're diminishing women. Like, they were given special treatment because that's what happens behind the scenes. It was like, oh, well, she's a woman, so she was given that. No, just throw them into the ring with everybody else.
So, Mike, are marketable anglers secretly and quietly wishing the demise of one of the other organizations so that it gets hyper focused?
It's not so secret.
No, it's not secret at all.
Yeah, everybody's for.
Well, I'm trying to not be direct and blunt because I don't know what I'm supposed to say or not say. So I'm trying to like tiptoe around.
We've talked about it on the show, David. One organization
now because Brian's making me
We've
feel
seen it
self-conscious. I'd rather
as
have
a
him over there.
solution.
Did I?
Yes.
One organization is the solution, I think. you
Well,
know?
I had pretty good inside information.
Oh boy.
In fact, reinforced this week at
Deep
ICAST,
state.
that one of the organizations is
For
right
sale.
now for sale.
Teetering.
Yeah. So pretty solid.
You know,
info
in
on
spite of all this crap that we're talking about, like, dude,
And these are all our opinions.
just opinions.
Becky,
Just our opinions.
I love this crap. Like, I mean to tell you, I'm out there in the tournament, like on the Potomac River, and man, I got a limit. I jack a 5-pounder, and I am shaking. Like, I know I'm getting to the next level in this tournament. My mind is engaged like nothing else that I do in life.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other activity that I participate in that can even come close to it.
Yeah.
It like takes me to a level 10. And I just love it. I love the study of it. I love practice. I hear guys talk about hating practice. I love practice.
Yeah.
I mean, I love getting out on a body of water and trying to decipher the habitat, use the new technology, or decide if I'm going to go old school and figure out the patterns, get in the mix. I'm devastated when I have a bad tournament. You know what I mean? It's like the high highs and the low lows, but it's a freaking awesome sport, right, Vegas?
Vegas, put the mic right to your mouth.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
This sport is awesome.
Yeah.
When you caught 21 pounds, when you caught that 5th fish, how did you feel?
Well, when I caught the 5th fish, I was kind of like still upset a little bit, so mad when my friend's just right beside me catching more fish than me in the morning. I was fighting a long time.
Father, son.
But
Never satisfied.
I think when we got rid of like the what was that, like the second fish that was like a 3-pounder,
Yeah.
then that was when I kind of was like, I think I got this.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, I get psyched on it. I watch Jake compete, and I watch him lose fish and catch them and teaching, imparting that. You could just see it. It's so cool. It's a totally unique sport. I absolutely love it. I think I'm going to be doing it like Rick Clunn style. I don't think I'm out.
Keep going.
I want to keep going.
How old is Rick Clunn? Beck, do we have an actual age on Rick? Is he in his 70s?
Yeah, he's mid-70s.
Mid-70s. Okay.
Mid to late. I knew this. I'm brain farting.
It's called mid-70s.
But a lot of it's too is who you're traveling with. You know what I mean? Like, it's changed. Like, back in when I was starting, it was all about making the classic and trying to be the best angler that I could be, best in the world. And now it's I love trying to win the tournaments. I love the camaraderie. I love the people I'm traveling with.
Yeah.
And it makes it a great experience. But man, there's nothing that brings level 10 out of me like a tournament does.
Yeah.
Great sport. I love it.
Sport.
We got to. I would love it if the rest of the world we could help them see that. You know. I don't.
Right.
I don't know. Didn't we want a little bit of a reset? People off the water, like stop fishing, get off the water. 21 pounds on Manasquan because maybe like we don't grow it so much anymore. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah. Do we want more people on the water? I don't know.
Yeah.
People
Well,
do. People do gripe about it. Do we want to grow it? I like it how it is. The boat launches aren't crowded. If you move to New York, man, they're never crowded.
Oh my God. There's.
I remember having Newton Lake to my entire self, running my outboard on it.
Yeah.
and then this guy has to go do windmills on the deck of a boat, and then it's like bumper to bumper out there. Everyone's out there fishing. I had Newton to myself, dude, on pad.
Vegas, isn't that great? Isn't that great? I get the blame for ruining fishing.
Vegas, you have no idea what your dad did for fishing in South. Brian, you better back me up. Don't play Bass After Dark on me.
It's not even a question.
All right,
Yeah.
he ruined South Jersey.
Don't shit about shit.
He ruined South Jersey.
I
Vegas.
coined that.
Your father ruined South
I've been
Jersey.
spreading that word for
We got
since you started.
we got a lot of letters when we moved onto our lake that it was all our fault that people were sneaking on.
Yeah, it probably was.
I mean, it's only because we couldn't.
And Rick Clun is 77.
77. Wow.
That's not too old anymore.
That's amazing. And he's still competing at the highest level.
And he still loves it.
And he still loves it.
You just, if you love what you do, just keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
You
I
know?
wonder if he's one of those really rich dudes that have like a young stud 18-year-old lifting weights and staying in shape and doing the blood transfusions with him because they're the same blood type. You know what I mean?
Wait, what?
That would be awesome.
Rick Clun, blood transfusions.
Yeah.
Younger athletic men that he pays on staff.
Yeah.
Wondering.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean,
you know what sucks about
prove it's not
working with Jake now is like I'm stuck on the weekends again. Man,
yeah.
I loved it. Like when, I started fishing full time, I got to fish on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Yeah.
No.
No, get out there on the damn weekend.
I'm out there,
Absolutely.
man, Saturday and Sunday.
Thank God.
Pete has to take his robe and slippers off on a Saturday. Ooh, the world is melting. Pete's smoking jacket gets hung up on a Saturday.
That's one of the most iconic Ike Live pictures ever. Was that picture of Pete in the robe? Do you remember that one? The tiger skin robe?
Yes.
Oh, that's so great.
That was young Pete with blonde hair.
That was a young Pete.
Yeah.
Tiger skin robe. I love that one.
Still very handsome.
Still good.
Yeah,
I did want to remind everybody that we literally, when I say literally, Brian the Carpenter, when did you get off the plane?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock today. So literally just got back from the ICAST show. For those of you watching and listening that don't know, ICAST is the biggest. Would you say it's the biggest business show in fishing? It is. Of course
it is.
All right. So Flat Earth and Sasquatch was all shit. You weren't doing that.
Well, hold on.
No, we're doing that. We're doing that. But I did want to go around and talk a little bit about what everybody's thoughts were on ICAST. And since Dave left, Bri, start with you. ICAST thoughts.
Well,
products.
So. I enjoy going back there. Part of it, partially, is the camaraderie of it.
Yeah.
Seeing everybody again.
Yeah.
And for me, I see them once or twice a year. So it's part that. And then it's always business. When I was with Bass U and be locked in the booth and hustling the whole time. This year was different. Kind of just out there free balling around a little bit. Yeah. Finding connections for Bass After Dark, but I did enjoy it. I felt like there was a lot of new faces. There's a lot of people that weren't there, and I'd say probably 75, 80% of the people I didn't recognize.
Wow. A lot of new faces.
A lot of new faces. Like, went out Thursday night, and I didn't go out Wednesday night or Friday night. Tuesday night or whatever.
Yeah.
But I did go Thursday night. Didn't recognize hardly anybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Any products that you saw that blew your mind or no?
Blew my mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There was I don't know what the company was, but basically external words are hard for the transducer,
transducer mount.
Yeah, alongside the trolling motor.
Yeah,
that attaches alongside of it, and a set of pedals, and you can have that transducer move with the pedal.
Mm-hmm.
You can have it move independently of the pedal, or you can have it follow your rod. And there was a little module that would clip under the reel, and whatever direction you were pointing your rod, that transducer.
That's interesting. Yeah.
AI coming, Vegas.
So that was pretty cool. There's another one where there's a live scope that connects to an iPad, so you don't need all that other stuff.
Wow.
So just some of that stuff is pretty
A
neat.
lot of live scope products.
Well, I
this
mean,
year.
that's the biggest.
Oh yeah.
The big one that I saw that I didn't see it, but I'd heard about it was a portable live scope unit.
That's what I was just talking about.
Is that the
It
one?
goes to the iPad.
Yeah.
Oh no, they use them at
So,
Champlain.
Co-anglers.
Yeah.
Wow. Bank fishermen, co-anglers.
Yep.
They bring their
can
own
you
battery?
imagine- Dave, can you imagine your co-angler shows up
With a battery.
and instead of back in the day, you'd have, remember the Tackle Logic bags? He'd have like 5 Tackle Logic, 20 rods. And you'd look at this car, you'd be like, what the hell? You getting on my boat with all that stuff. Now, they're only showing up with 1 or 2 rods, but they got their own live scope.
A co-angler with a live scope is like a homeless guy with a cell phone. I hate them both.
A co-angler with a live scope. It's a homeless guy with a cell phone.
Yeah.
Why does a homeless guy with a cell phone upset you?
Because the Democrat gave it to him.
I mean, is there? Yeah. Is there anything? Could there be anything more? Is there anything more annoying than a co-angler showing up with his own electronics? Oh my God, I
Dude,
couldn't
he's
even.
got
Right?
his own-
Vegas saw something where they what was he able to put 3 live
Oh,
scopes?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
on
saw
a
that.
pole?
Yeah.
Like
See that?
Hunter Shryock posted it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I wish I didn't even come tonight. I did not even know that was happening. Oh my God,
Dude, AI's taking
Yeah.
over,
Oh my
Dave.
God.
Everything.
The first time I heard it, I was upset like you. I'm like, that's crazy. And but now that I spent so much time with forward facing and I've learned how to use it and how it's effective, it's just like any other kind of fishing. I don't care if he's got it. I don't care now. Like before, I would be like, dude, that's you're
Yeah, but
you
what
know,
if-
you're
what if-
snaking me.
Pete, did
What
you
if-
get the scoop from Justin on his second day on Champlain? Haran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. Yeah. We
Real quick.
Justin, who works for Bass U, a lot of you guys, he handles a lot of our social media stuff. He's a great
Oh, yeah,
angler, and he fished in the co-angler side, and he got the death draw, that's the bigger issue. Like he don't want to fish no more as a co. He's like he got
a live scope draw.
He got 2 forward facing guys back to back.
It's like getting a bed fisherman.
But the one
Works.
and the guy told him up front, like you're
probably not going to
screwed.
catch
probably not
anything.
going to catch anything today.
Yeah. Well, it was a
Did he
double-edged
actually
sword.
say that? He
Yeah.
actually used those words.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to catch.
Well,
anything.
I'm gonna tell who the first guy was. Is one of the greatest. Is Drew Gill. Like Drew is awesome. He's like Justin. It's going to be hard. He goes, but at noon I'm going to take you to get some fish. So like he was, he had a plan for him, knowing that Justin was going to be just fishing in the abyss.
Right.
So
God,
that's solid though.
So, but it was solid to Drew, and
Yeah.
here's the other positive
Did
side.
he actually go?
Yeah, he did. But
For an hour.
Drew has a strategy for using it that I've never seen before, and he got front row seat to see how it's done.
Right.
So that was freaking amazing. And he caught 12 or 13 pounds that day, which wasn't horrible. Kept him in the hunt in the co-angler side because he did. He took him to a couple places, and he wound up catching like a 4.5 because Drew would caught one and he brought a few back to the boat. Justin was able to drop on him and get one of those.
Gotcha.
And then they went up and he caught like 2 or 3, and he had 12 or 13 pounds. But the next day he went out with another guy whose name I can't remember, but he scoped differently, and Justin, he zeroed on Lake Champlain when it was fishing at its peak.
I hate hearing all this. I feel like a 5-year-old who wandered into a Molsana's changing room.
Well, I think
or
the co-angler side is going to be a hard sell.
I heard they're getting rid of it.
It's going to be a hard freaking sell.
I heard it's.
Who wants to sit in the back of the boat and get
You
subjected
heard
to
they're
that?
getting rid of co-angling altogether.
I heard that.
Who said MLF or Opens or everybody?
I heard opens. I don't know if there's truth behind it.
Yeah.
Well, it's even on the Marshall side, right? So we're talking about co-anglers that are paying to fish against other co-anglers. Dude, they cannot draw a full field of marshals in a BASS event anymore.
They need marshals.
They can't.
They need people to police.
They cannot get marshals. Like I've seen them where it's less than half full. I think the biggest field I saw this year might have been like 60 or 70.
You have to pay to be a marshal?
You have to pay to be a marshal.
Well, that's why. Nobody wants to pay to do that shit.
But
Okay, just put them on there. They need.
I mean, the
some
next
police
step is to
stuff.
get rid of that. But even after that, are you going to waste 3-4 days out of your life to go watch some dude's ass?
No,
all
I'd
the
rather
time?
give a homeless guy a cell phone.
Right. Give the homeless guy something.
Yeah, it's. I've always been a proponent of being a marshal.
Vegas laughing.
Oh, thank you, Vegas.
Why?
So
What?
listen, we have someone. Oh my god!
Like, just give a homeless dude some live scope.
No.
Yeah, give him a live scope.
Yeah,
too.
Under
yeah.
the bridge.
Teach a man to fish, you know? Jesus.
That'd be a better
Y'all
tool.
see my mini me? Does anyone not notice that it's like if I were a small child
We got a.
boy?
Oh, we got to get. Do we have a guest?
We did.
We have a guest. So this
Let's do it.
This young guest was also at ICAST, so he can give us some insight into his thoughts on
Oh,
ICAST.
I would like to know that.
But he was also here and given many names and has been a part of
Really?
Yes.
Yo!
the intern.
Oh, shit, look at Eric.
Yoey!
Look at
You
that.
thought I was gonna miss the reunion? Come on.
Damn, I knew it was gonna happen.
Oh,
Hey,
Eric,
He
yeah.
might have no sound.
Well,
Your
we got
sound's off.
Well, if,
Oh no! Wait! Oh wait!
what?
Oh, wait.
What happened?
Hold on. I
Oh,
know how
hold
to
on.
fix that.
Becky
Hold
can
on,
fix
Pete,
this.
Hold on.
So if you're watching, this is a normal Ike Live glitch. We have a producer that has no idea what they're doing.
How dare you?
All right,
Are you there, E?
let's try now.
You thought I was gonna miss the reunion?
Oh,
hell no.
Come on.
Like muted?
Beck, you got to hit the.
Hold on.
My
With the
mic's
mustache,
on.
he looks like a young Beastie Boy.
I know.
What is
Well, the haircut looks great. The haircut looks great.
Uh,
So I hope we can get Eric on to talk about
well,
his
hold on.
thoughts.
We're gonna
about
just read his lips for a second. Hold on.
Uh,
Let me work on this.
okay.
Y'all talk
My
amongst
mic.
yourselves.
Have him go out and come back in.
All right.
He's trying
I'm
to tell you
good to
something.
go.
He hears us.
He
I don't
hears
know
us.
about you
But
guys.
yeah.
I know he does, but it has to come through here.
Yeah.
Hold on.
All right. All right. Let's continue while
Stand
we're
by,
waiting to
Eric.
get Eon. Vegas, let's go to you real quick. Thoughts on ICAST? This was your first ICAST. This was actually your first show. So give me your thoughts on ICAST and any products that you saw that you liked.
I mean, it was cool.
Yeah.
A lot of new products, especially the like stupid 3 live scope thingies.
You're right,
on your transducer.
right.
Close. Talk.
yeah.
Talk close to the mic,
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah.
I
So,
think the new Lawrence, what's that called? That new
oh,
Lawrence
the
motor?
Rampage.
Yeah.
Rampage, I think it is. Or-
What's that?
So, Ghost launched a cableless trolling motor.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some real cool features on it. So
And,
actually, I
yeah,
was excited
Bluetooth.
for it for the kayak world because it has ability to mount on the front of a kayak.
Yeah.
It's it's cableless, so you
Oh,
can
that's cool.
put the pedal back here. And
Yeah.
I thought that was cool too.
I'm on Ike Live.
What else, Vegas?
Brian and them in
I mean,
studio.
there's
We're
a
doing
lot
a
of
whole,
new
Ike Live
things. I
reunion.
saw
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Ghost's
yeah.
glasses.
They're about
Oh,
That
nice.
that was cool. The Nines had a bunch of cool glasses.
Yeah. Any products that you saw that you got to bring home that you thought was pretty amazing?
Yeah, what's that company called? Vector Hooks.
Ooh,
yeah.
Vector hooks.
They're
yeah.
really nice. Their punching hook is really good.
Cool. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So you thought the experience was good for your first ICAST?
Yeah, it was all right. It was definitely tiring. How long did we spend there? Like
We're like 8-hour days.
8 hours.
Yeah. 8-hour days.
I wish I could fish though.
It's a good answer. It's a good answer. Pete, anything that you saw that was mind blowing? How did the show go?
It was, it was interesting. I was interesting to hear Brian talk about a lot of new faces, and I saw that. I'm seeing it at the tournament trail. We're seeing it in the whole sport, but it was a forward facing show.
A lot of
right?
forward facing. Minnows,
line,
screens,
minnows,
line.
yeah, everything forward facing.
Yeah.
You remember on this show we were talking about man, this technology, they're probably going to come out with a whole series of baits. And that was prophetic, and it's true. It's what the whole freaking ICAST
Are they
was.
able to pinpoint baits on the sonar now?
They got tungsten shows up better than lead. The flat.
I didn't even think of that.
The flat nature of the bait. will show up better. There's actually a company out there that has something you can put on the bait.
Yeah. Bait pop.
The bait pop
Yeah.
to help it show up better, because seeing your bait is the magic, right?
Yeah.
That's because the fish will show up, but seeing that bait consistently, being able to cast into that cone is a real talent, and it takes a lot of practice. But it was all about forward facing. And you know what the other one was?
What's that?
The what is it? BFS
Bait finesse
bait casting.
It's those two.
Yeah,
dominated the show.
Yeah,
bait finesse again.
Yeah. Bait finesse is like
really.
Yeah, some of the companies, like, they're investing in the whole marketing,
Japanese
product lines
mostly
behind it, reels, rods.
Ken had a setup with a casting rod and a little 100 lures that I used today.
Super shallow spools.
Felt so nice.
Yeah.
Except for I was in Florida.
You were fishing today?
And it did not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't handle the grass too well.
You fished with Ken?
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Huh. I didn't know we were getting there.
But he's a golf course pond stuff.
Here's well, I hate to go on the negative side of things
again.
We're doing that, but
there's a lot of that.
But with the forward facing, like focus, it's hard to sell a crankbait right now.
Hard to sell anything.
And a jig,
but a jig head at a minnow.
You can sell a jig head in a minute. You can't keep them in stock,
right?
So.
Yeah, I had
of like the industry and the people out there bass fishing. What's the percentage that are tournament anglers, or what's the percentage that actually have live scope?
I want to know that number,
and that's got to be a fraction.
There's been estimates like 5 to 10%.
I think,
and that's a high
way
estimate.
way less.
Yeah. So,
but those 5 to 10% by a high percentage.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
be.
not exactly
Right.
even. Like those 5 to 10% have way too much tackle, like myself.
Yeah.
And the people that don't have it tend to not have as much tackle, so they're not buying as much. But
you still, the companies out there, they're struggling to sell those other product lines. Even so, but they can sell the crap out of that. They can't keep them in stock
because it's new. We don't have it. I already have crankbaits.
Yep.
Could be.
Maybe so, but they sold really good for a long time.
Yeah. They'll be back.
Yeah. I'm just looking through my notes. But that was one of the big things.
You got notes.
Right,
I always
I
take.
thought you took notes on being there in general.
I did.
Oh.
TikTok.
TikTok.
TikTok
He's
was
wild.
ever-present influencers.
Really?
Yeah, Bass and Bougie. I'm a grown there. The dude from Georgia is Bass and Bougie. His wife is, I think, Bougie. Well, I think that's
Can you hear me?
like,
Hello?
He's a hardcore bass dude, man. Fishes tournaments. His wife started this TikTok. She
Ladies and
films
gentlemen.
everything. She films him leaving for the tournaments. and
Eric
gripes.
in the background like a ghost. He's like, "Hello."
Y'all are being so loud, and Eric, I think I finally got him.
It's me, guys.
All right. Do we finally have audio from Eric the intern?
Eric, the light behind your head looks amazing.
It does.
Yeah, thanks.
That's
Eric.
it. There it is.
Like a
Nah,
Holy
I need your
Spirit?
facelift, buddy.
It's like a fight scene in a Jason Bourne movie in like a hallway.
If y'all stop talking, you can hear him.
Can you hear me though? Seriously? Are we good?
Yay! We
can
got
hear
you.
it.
You guys thought I was gonna miss the reunion. Come on.
Hey,
Oh, man.
Can you turn the TV up there? There you go. Turn it up all the way.
100.
Yeah.
100.
Eric, how you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing great. ICAST, the state of the industry. What are we talking about tonight?
Dude, we're talking about all of it. First things first, it is awesome to have you back on the show. We were reminiscing earlier that it's over 10 years now, and it's just amazing. A lot has changed in that time.
No, I think I told Brian recently that I've now been down here in Florida longer than I was on like live and in Glassboro, which to me doesn't really make any sense. I know we've talked about this before, but it really does feel like after 2020, the speed of things has just ramped up to an almost indescribable degree. Like those 3 years I spent in Glassboro feel like I lived an entire lifetime down there with you guys, with the amount of memories and things that I took away from that. And then 5 years later, just here we are. Now I'm 28.
What were the years that you were with us at Ike Live, Eric?
Started mid 2017, I want to say, through September of 2019.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it doesn't on paper sound like an extremely long period of time, but like I said, just the way life was for me at that time, I was younger, and like I said, every day just felt like way more of a holistic thing. Now I look at the counter, it's like, oh, another month went by, whatever. Crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy. Now, I do want to get your opinion on this. We've been talking about a lot of changes in the sport, and I'd love to get your take on it because you're the youngest out of everybody here in the room tonight.
Go for Vegas.
Minus Vegas. But what looking at it when you came into the Ike Live as an intern to now you've got this big mega thing going on in Florida, and you guys are everywhere. How have you seen the industry change? How have you seen the sport change?
Yeah, so I like that this is the topic tonight because I feel like I kind of fall under an interesting demographic when it comes to it, because I grew up in a time where, you know, watching Bassmaster on TV still was basically the only medium to consume fishing at that top level if you wanted people to look up to or things to look up to in terms of maybe I could do this for a career. So that's how I grew up, and that's why I was such a fan of the Elite Series and how I found out about you and countless other dudes that I still to this day hold in extremely high regard. At the same time, as I started to grow up, middle school, high school, YouTube first became a thing. Digital cameras that you could buy at an affordable price and take HD video just became a thing. So here was this opportunity, if you want to call it that. It wasn't an opportunity yet, obviously, but here was this way that I could explore my love for fishing as a whole, you know, not just tournament bass fishing, but my love for the entirety of fishing, which is what we try and represent with Uncle Larry Outdoors. Here's a way that I can explore that and not necessarily have to go the tournament bass fishing route. Right. And I went that way, and you know, here we are to this day. I can actually sit here and say that we're finding some sort of way to survive off of the thing that I would do if, you know, I was homeless on the streets, and we pretty much have been at certain times, as Kai just walks outside right now talking to me about this.
Kai!
So on one hand, I come from that world where I love tournament bass fishing. I respect it. I was a fan of it growing up.
Yeah.
But I've also very much benefited from the recent, if you want to call it a shift, just the way the world's going and the opportunities that are opening up for people to make it in different ways. I've benefited from that. We've all have, you know, to a certain extent. Yeah. And I can't say I hate it, you know, because like I said, it's allowed me to, I truly feel like I'm happier at this point in my life being able to fish for all these different species and tell all these different stories than if I just solely focus on trying to make it through tournament bass fishing. And like I said, I love it. Right. I'll still enter any tournament that you throw at me. I love the competition. I love the aura about it, especially those memories I have watching it growing up. But I can't say I hate the new opportunities. And I think as things continue to evolve, we're going to continue to see people like myself who belong at ICAST, but wouldn't necessarily be able to make it through that tournament medium. You're going to see them there. And I don't think that's a bad thing for the sport as a whole.
Yeah. We said it several times in the show already that just hardcore tournament anglers and the fans of that are just a little slice of that pie. And there's a whole lot of other pieces that are non-tournament related. And I think what you said is perfect because you guys are doing that. Now, I do want to call Eric out on this, Pete, and I got to be honest, and I don't want to throw shade on anybody, but I saw the Uncle Larry guys getting more attention and publicity and excitement and energy and people and crowds than a lot of the touring pros, which is, you know, it says something, I think, about the sport today.
That sums it up.
It does. It really does. Eric, Dave mentioned something, and I want to get it. And remember, this is Ike Live. You knew I was going to ask you one tough question. And you have to be honest. You can't lie. Dave said in a very eloquently Dave way that the moment that ruined fishing for him was when people started endorsing products, and I get that, right? Because there's a business side to the sport, and it does taint it, and I get that. And Eric, I know for being good friends with you for a long time, that was always something that you wrestled with. How have you and has Kai and Johnny and the Uncle Larry guys, how have you guys handled that shift now of having to almost being forced into a situation where you guys got to do a little bit of that now? I know you were always against it, but tell me how you.
But he also grew up here.
He grew up here. He grew up here seeing the most, I don't know a good way to say it, Dave. We're endorsers here. You've seen some shit here. Where
Deep state.
Deep state.
You lived in the machine.
You lived in the machine.
Thank you, Eric.
The deep state of, yes. But now, right. But now listen, but popularity and views and people liking you have created these new opportunities for you guys, and you've had to accept it. So talk a little bit about that, because I want to know more about it.
I want to know too.
Yeah. So wait, before I even get into my side of it, Dave, you said fishing was ruined for you when people started endorsing products. So what are you talking about? Like at birth?
No,
like,
all
what
right.
do you mean?
So
Like
no.
we've been endorsing products since the beginning of this thing. That's
So-
always been a
Getting that
fascinating-
ass, Eric.
Look at him trying to fight.
Eric, so
What do you mean, Dave?
Get him,
What are
Eric.
you talking about?
Eric, you know me well enough. Do I ever just throw blanket statements out there without some kind of funny caveat to it? So you must not have been watching earlier. You just got on to shine your stuff, and I get that. I had said
No,
that.
you're right. I
Eric,
was too busy catching tarpon. My bad.
there was some giant tarpon you were illegally holding out of the water, by the way. Great job. But
He's talking about the 8-pounders we caught. Like that's illegal.
Oh man. No.
Kai, what's Kai doing? Rolling a joint? What are you doing, Kai? Yeah, look at
Okay, here. Say it again.
What? I said, what are you over there rolling a joint? What are you doing?
I got Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Yes.
Sure, Taco Bell.
Enjoy, buddy.
All right. No, so here we go.
Eric,
Right?
hold on, Eric.
No,
you
I'm
asked
gonna
me
be
all
upfront
I
about
said-
it.
Eric, hold on. Listen,
I'm
Eric,
gonna give you
when
my answer, Dave.
Eric, when we were your age, they had a scent. It was the best scent ever called Real Crawl, and it was a bunch of ground up crawfish in this oily substance. Well, some dude was like putting it on his line, putting it on his eyelids, trying to sell the product, telling you eyelids. Telling you like you need to buy the product because it greases your line real well. It got gross. That's all I'm saying, Eric. If you
All right.
understood it, if you were alive when it happened,
It went too
you would
far,
understand the joke. That's all,
is what
buddy.
you're saying.
I wasn't trying to say
Okay,
the endorsing a
Dave.
product is bad. So whatever you guys got as a sponsor, I'm not saying you guys are shills for it. Okay. Good
Okay,
luck.
so first of all, I'm now joined by the entirety of Uncle Larry Outdoors.
Hey.
Oh,
I heard
shit.
Dave's on, so I ran outside. As soon as I heard Dave was on, I came busting out.
Yeah.
And Johnny. So the question is, now that Uncle Larry's, to quote Mike, is getting more attention at ICAST than a lot of the pros are, and we've had to accept certain opportunities with companies. How do we go about endorsing products these days?
Yeah, well,
And
I
would
point,
say-
I mean, the point was,
this
like,
what
I know
works.
you guys were very anti that, and there's a purity to what you guys do, and I think that people relate to that, like going out with, just because you love the sport. It's your passion. It's your love. Who cares about who's it's just whatever you got in your box. I love that. It's pure. And by default, you guys have to shift a little now. And you just have to, right? Like, how are you coping with that, I guess?
Well, I mean, I'll speak for these guys and we can all chime in, but my answer for it is pretty simple. At the end of the day, we've been doing this for a good amount of time now. I mean, 5 years, you know, we've had 5 years to build this thing. And for the longest period of time, we had opportunities to take those low to mid-level deals with companies whose baits, yeah, some of them we may like, some of them we may not have. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
And we never took them. We always just stayed true to who we were, exactly what you just said, doing it for the love of it and the pureness of it, until we were finally able to, you know, blessedly get to a point where we could work with companies and brands that we truly believe in. And they've been open with us that, hey, if there's something that you don't like, you can tell us. You know, there's no problem with that. And those relationships have been built over a long period of time. And like I said, we're blessed to have them. But the only thing I can really attribute that to is what I talked about in the first 3 years of building this thing. And that was not taking those low to mid-level deals, staying true to who we are. And these brands that work with us now, they know that, okay, Uncle Larry's thing is that when people see them catching fish, they know that. They know they're using stuff that is actually going to work, because why wouldn't they be? That's what they're out there to do. So the brands don't want to tarnish that either, because it's not going to be advantageous to them. The more we grow, the better reputation we garner through working in this world, the better it's going to be for the people that work with us.
Right.
I don't
Yeah,
know
so
if
you
you want
can
to.
probably reach out to High Noon, Taco Bell, and the Swiffer behind you.
I definitely would. Taco Bell's got some big, deep pockets, man.
What did you say?
Taco Bell, man.
Oh,
Taco Bell's
Taco
got
Bell
some
is
deep
awesome.
pockets.
Like, that's, if it weren't for Taco Bell, none of us would be here. So they really
Yeah.
keep it going.
I need a
Taco Bell
wrap truck.
Like, that's what we're talking about. Like, this is the sort of stuff, like, we do it anyway, so we might as well get paid by them. Like, that's like Z-Man kind of. Like,
I could visualize the commercial now. You guys go out and film. You get all that crazy footage, you know, that really cool low angle stuff. And then when you catch a fish, the Taco Bell gong rings.
Dong.
This could be amazing.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I want to chime in. This is like Mr. Eric the intern.
No, I know.
This is how he handled.
Look at how he like coiffed his hair.
Yeah.
He
I know.
handled that
Glorious.
question with maturity.
I know. The only thing we're missing
Yeah.
is a suit. on
He
it.
looks like he's ready to handle his first case for the law firm.
No,
Goldberg and Bluestein.
Hey, and
With his mustache and his hair.
listen, in all seriousness, though, I want to shout out the shirt I'm wearing too. This was as soon as I got back from ICAST, I saw this in my mailbox, and it was from someone that you guys know, Nolan Miner, just someone else who I've met through fishing. And this goes back to what I was talking about earlier, because like even seeing that shirt in my mailbox is just another example of like a positive friendship and memory that has been made through something that I've loved my entire life. And like I said, we've been a major benefit of this newer side of the industry. So just for the older generation or the people that may have doubts about where we come from with this stuff and where we fit in to everything, just remember stuff like that it's really creating a positive tidal wave of momentum for fishing as a whole, I would say.
I was saying that earlier, even an hour ago or something. Just that was one of my biggest takeaways from ICAST was, you know, seeing you guys and where you're at and you know, and all the other, you know, just how big that group's grown with DCAM and Hood and all the other guys I met there. It's just, and they're just all positivity and everybody out just fishing, doing their thing, supporting each other. It's cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That is good stuff.
Hey, Eric, how's the mustache working with the ladies? You got a high ratio with that?
I don't know. Ask them about my ICAST performance.
with what?
He said,
John,
how's the mustache work with the women?
Uh-oh.
Did Eric find a lady at ICAST?
The mustache wasn't even there at ICAST.
Yeah, no, I've had a couple extra days here.
Nice.
Back from the show, out on the water, 100-degree heat.
I think he avoided that.
Yeah, that's all right.
That was a good avoid.
No, they don't want to comment on it.
And-
They're sparing me. They're sparing.
What?
He had a girlfriend from the next town over.
That was more baby and dick anyway.
This does not make sense. Y'all grow up and find some ladies and
To
What do you
ruin
mean?
everything you got going on.
Tell Ike Live about the trip that you just got back from post ICAST with your
Me?
girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we went python hunting with Dead Crab. Carl set it up with Hood Fishing and Mac Hoover. So we all went out python hunting down in the Everglades. We saw a wild panther. It crossed right in front of us.
Wow.
So
Johnny
we got
got
some
the
footage
video
of
of
that. My girlfriend caught like an 8-9 foot python with her
Whoa.
hands,
Wow.
which I learned something that night. That was a little crazy. And we caught like 12, 13 snakes last night. So I'm just getting back from the Everglades a few hours ago.
Did you guys harvest any meat?
I'm so impressed.
Well, you have to humanely euthanize all the pythons legally if you catch them. So they kept the meat, and then they're gonna make some like wallets and stuff with all the skin.
Okay.
Yeah. Becky would be interested in the wallets.
I'm down for
Oh, all the girls were way out hunting the guys last night. It was crazy. Like I think they like pythons and snakes too much. It kind of freaked me out.
Grabbing snake. Joe, you got to coin that shirt right now. Grabbing snake.
Oh, I had a fun game too. I'm wearing the Mario shirt tonight. We're all kind of swagged out, but I was wondering like which Ike Live personas are which characters. Oh, we were saying Toad is definitely Vegas. Like he's like a mini Mario, and Brian's Goomba because he's all like, "Rah," you know, like.
That's so right, dude.
You know,
I've been the most positive one tonight.
Most positive guy. Yeah, you are, dude. You are, dude.
Like, no, keep going. That was so good. It was like the best
What do you say?
She said keep going.
Oh, keep going? Okay. Well, Bowser has got to be Pete, right? Just like a big bopper. I mean, Ike, by default, Ike's Mario.
Yeah.
And then by default, Becky's got to be Peach. Wait, so who else are we missing?
Dave.
Dave. Oh.
Dave. Oh man, I'm feeling Koopa Pepper Trooper.
Or the big bullet. Or the big bullet. Just trucking everyone in his sight. Like no one, his opinion's gonna truck yours. His persona's gonna truck yours. I like the bullet. I think
No, that's Dave.
Yeah, it's Dave.
That's Dave.
Well, thanks, guys.
That's awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
That was pretty awesome.
You know, Eric, you have to connect with Ben Friedman, the old Barstool Outdoors guy, because he's down there catching python, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he catches python.
He's grabbing snake.
He's grabbing snake.
Eric wasn't catching python. The other guy was. Johnny
You
was.
remember him, don't you?
Yeah, no, I wasn't doing the pythons. That's all that they're talking about. The old Barstool guy.
Oh yeah, that was
OG.
the first guy I ever saw python hunt on YouTube.
Yeah.
He's the man. But we didn't go to any of those spots in particular. But he went to some old NASA facility. There's still rocket ships in the Everglades. Everglades are a weird place. There's like all sorts of hidden tunnels and roads and everything you can go down.
Well,
you
that
guys
old-
got to get down there and grab one of these things. It's so
Hey John, that old NASA building. You went down the rabbit hole of all the Satan stuff going on there, right? Like the Satan worshiping going on at that NASA facility.
What the?
I know what you're talking about. I've never been to the NASA facility itself, more out of fear of that. I feel like that's why it attracts so many big pythons, though, Dave. That's like.
No, I'm with you. I watched a guy go through that place. It's absolutely
magnetism.
creepy.
It's you could apparently see it by helicopter, but I don't know how to get there by car. Otherwise, I'd go check it out.
Yeah, no thanks.
This is-
Drag back some ghouls from there, dude. Don't do it.
This is unbelievable, dude.
I know. No,
Hey, you
I'm
guys
glad-
got to get in studio together more. This is electric.
Thank you.
Dude, how do you
I appreciate you popping it.
execute a python?
With a hammer. Or-
Yeah.
Take their
How do
head
you humanely end a
Cut their head
python's
off.
life?
How do you hunt a python?
Oh, so you
jump
grab it by the back of the neck, like that, as close as you can. My girlfriend got bit really bad in the leg, but she's fine.
Savage.
Yeah, she's savage, really. And but then you grab it by the back of the neck. If they're big, you kind of have someone spook it and like get in front of it so that it's distracted, and then humanely euthanize it. It's a little gruesome, but you can either cut off the head, but that's not any fun because then you can't take cool pictures. You pop it, or you kind of like poke its brain with something. But they're weird because they're like reptiles. So if you've ever seen like a lizard, when its tail pops off and it still squiggles around for a while, they kind of do their own version of that. So even when they're dead, they still like move around and kind of try and bite you by default. So we were dealing with that a little bit at the end, which is kind of spooky, but it was really cool. It's an awesome experience. I'd definitely recommend. We went out with, to give them a shout out, JJ's Everglades tours, and they were just great dudes, man. They had a cool lifted truck with a big platform, so it almost was like a tuna tower on like a redneck truck, and we were driving that all around the dirt roads, spotlighting off that,
drinking beers and running spotlights.
We were dead sober, honestly. They said the biggest problem they ever had in terms of like people going out and boozing in the Everglades were when they bring out cops. I guess the cops go crazy. They love shooting the snakes and having a few extra drinks, which I guess surprised me.
So your girlfriend, how many snakes did your girlfriend catch?
Like all of them. No, she saw the panther, and she caught the biggest snake of the night. So she caught like an 8-9 footer.
And she got bit too, right? Dang.
And she got bit in the leg. We had like the Elysion pants on that we were showing Ike. Like they're thick pants, but it got through quick. But their teeth are really, really sharp. They're almost like that same material of like a cat's claw. So they go in and out really so quickly that you don't even really feel the bite, but they have an anti-coagulant in them. So you bleed a lot. So it looks way more badass than it actually hurts.
Who you dating? Hannah Barron? I mean, my God, you sound like you got a gladiator there.
Well, who's Hannah Barron? Is she the catfish girl?
The thick Southern accent.
Oh yeah. No. Who's I leaving her for? I guess we're leaving her for you, Eric. Hannah Barron. That's all you.
That's awesome. All right, Eric, on a serious note, you walked ICAST, you looked at the booths, you walked the halls. Is there a product that stood out to you or Johnny or Kai, that's something that you saw that just was a game changer, a real game changer?
Did we look at any product at ICAST?
What?
No product.
We walked.
We should shout out Jose's stuff.
Oh well, obviously the people we work with. Z-Man won Best in Show once again for best soft bait on the saltwater side and on the freshwater side with the Shadtron. So the Shadtron, if you guys got a chance to look at that, is a line through swim bait that last year on the saltwater side won with the Molotron. So I've had a year worth of experience throwing that Molotron, and I can tell you between the action, the hookup ratio, the durability with that Z-Man plastic, that's a bad bait. So I'm assuming that the Shadtron, having not thrown it yet, I can tell you with a lot of confidence that that bait will do serious damage on the fresh side, probably across the country, I would say. So that would be the big thing that stands out. But yeah, no, we it's funny, at ICAST, and could barely tell you about new products at the end of the day.
I think a big thing for us too with like the marketing stuff and ICAST, I think you see it every year. Like it's really hard to keep innovating in fishing when the baits are already like what you see with the glide baits. It's like you could either keep innovating and things get way, way, way more expensive, or you end up just copying baits that already exist. So at the end of the day, I think like a big thing companies have to sell on is an experience more than their baits being all that different, because it's hard to make a $10 hard bait much different than another $10 hard bait. If you're going to make it way better, it's going to be way more expensive. If you're going to innovate it way more, it's going to be way more expensive. So I think like that's a big thing we've seen is like with people who believe in us specifically, it's just like, all right, they want to sell on an experience and the bait's just got to work. But like a paddle tail is a paddle tail. So seeing the Z-Man stuff was cool. And then the guys over at Florida Fishing Products, and it's kind of weird because you think like Florida, but they made a small profile bait caster that's saltwater resistant. And what I really like about using their stuff is all of their stuff is very salt resistant. It's meant for those salt guides, but it's small profile, like freshwater stuff. And if you're fishing like the way we do for the most part, when you have like 2 or 3 primary combos that you use for everything, you don't really want to have to worry about corrosion and if stuff's going to break down, but you also don't have the money for like a van stall and there something like that. So I do like having that small profile, like 150 size bait caster that we can go out and fish for largemouth and then fish for snook and tarpon later in the day. That's pretty, or redfish mostly, but that was another cool thing that stood out to us.
That's super cool. I'm just so happy, Pete, that the ducks and birds aren't winning anymore at ICAST. Do you remember the days when
there was Alex?
There was an alligator.
There was Alex the propelligator.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we did see that.
Oh,
Remember the alligator, Alex the alligator.
Okay. Yeah, Alex the propelligator. It was a topwater alligator with feedy things on the back.
It was basically like a buzzing frog, this big, but an alligator.
An alligator.
I thought for sure that was going to win.
Hey, John, Eric, send the camera over to John. Any new UFO or skunk ape activity down there?
Oh, that's interesting. So we did pass. I forget the name of the guy who just passed away, but we passed his campsite. There's a guy in the Everglades who dedicated his whole life to finding the skunk ape. He never did, but right when we passed that, we saw the panther, and I think like panther in terms of elusiveness and that sort of feline ability to go in and out of dimensions is like right below skunk ape. So considering how quickly we ran into that, I don't think we're far off. But we have found some new regions of note. The Florida Keys, surprisingly, some really interesting articles from the 70s about some families who actually moved out of the Keys from those old quarries because they were bothered by skunk ape. I think we found a footprint in the Hillsborough River one time, but we'll have to reconfirm that. In terms of UFOs, there was a moment last year when the Chinese spy balloon thing was going on and all the UFO activity was all over the news. They started running insane flyover drills in Tampa that week. Usually they save those planes to fly over the sea because they're so loud. But that week in particular, they were all over the city, which was interesting. We kind of have seen a falling star together. I saw one with Eric as well. That was the most recent personal UFO activity. And what that is there'll be a star in the sky that'll just take all of your attention and get really bright. And then it's not a shooting star. It just drops straight to Earth. But a question for you, Dave, on this would be, so I ran into the Starlink thing. I don't know if you've seen that in person. Have you seen that flyover yet?
So a good buddy of mine was like, dude, we're being invaded right there in New Jersey. And it was Starlink coming across. No, I've never seen it, but I know what it looks like.
So it's really intense. And first of all, it's not whatever they say it is. It's just not. Like, it's way too intense. But imagine being like still in one of those isolated tribes. And we know it's supposed to be Starlink, but like if you saw that and you're living in the Amazon, like, how would that affect your psyche? Like that,
they're making paintings about it right now. I promise.
Yeah, cave paintings, cave drawings of Starlink in the sky.
You guys happy?
First time last year, and like Mike and I didn't know what it was. I thought that we were being attacked or nuked or something. Like, so I lived in DC during 9/11. Sorry, but I go to the crazy place. But Vegas was like, oh, that's Elon Musk. And I'm like, what do you mean it's Elon?
Oh, no way.
Vegas knew.
Vegas knew, and we didn't. On the same night, we saw one of those crazy stars crash.
Same night.
Same night.
Yeah.
And so I was like, and we had no reception where we were on the beach. We're just at a bonfire. And I was like, we're going down. We'll go down the four of us, I guess, on this beach.
At least
Well,
you're all together, At least you're all together, you know, for the Elon Musk takeover.
Wi-Fi in Vegas was right. It was totally Elon Musk.
Vegas is smarter.
I saw something Friday night.
Brian's
At,
got a new one.
Yeah, we were.
We totally went to, like, this was ICAST, and we went to Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is better.
Yeah,
than
it
I
was
guess.
Friday night. DCam and his boys came back to Ken's place, and we were, introduced him to Ken and talked for a while, and then we went out and hit some of the ponds, and of course he was throwing glide baits with musky rods in those ponds, and might have caught alligators, but out in the distance there was a lot, just a heat lightning show, just going on forever. Suddenly, like, in the cloud line, there was a series of lights that went, and it just did that like a wave.
Roller coaster?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, but up in the clouds,
Yeah.
and like dot 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 dot. Like kind of like Starlink is like a line.
Yeah.
But it did like that,
Had a
and it
curve
did that
to
a
it.
couple times. They saw it same as Alaska. Like they had seen it a couple more times before I caught wind of it, and I saw it twice. And I stared at it for another 20 minutes and never came back.
I'm dying to have a UFO
I don't know what the hell it
experience.
was,
I'm
but-
a true believer, but I've never had any experience
You're
of
waiting.
anything upside. I'm waiting for one.
Yeah.
I've seen two
it's
falling
out there.
stars. I've never seen anything that
Oh,
would
God.
be like, I've never seen any lights in the air,
Keep
Ever.
getting disappointed by Musk.
Musk.
No, I didn't see. My buddy John saw that. And
No, I'm
sent,
just saying though.
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah.
it's an Elon Musk phenomenon, it's not a UFO.
I mean, dude, there's
They're
guys like
disappointed.
for people listening, you need to go on YouTube and type in George St. Pierre. He's an MMA fighter, very famous MMA fighter. Had an amazing UFO experience in New Mexico.
Really?
Oh yeah, right up,
Wow.
right up on him.
He also recently said, when you sleep with, a woman of a different nationality, you are representing your entire, like, country or nationality. So do it right.
Bill Burr had a joke about that. Not
George
Bill
St.
Burr.
Pierre said
No,
that.
it wasn't Bill Burr. It was a comedian who had a joke about that. He said you felt like you're representing your race.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
yeah,
basically what
yeah,
he
yeah.
said. Yeah, you're repping the race.
I don't know.
Peter, would you like to follow up on that?
No.
UFOs?
Eric, take me back. Take me back.
Hold
to
on.
how unbelievable. Brian, you got to stay for this. I remember vividly
Oh,
the
God.
show crashing and you and Brian look at each other back at the booth. And we were there, like, waiting for the feed to come back. And he was looking at you to get it back up, and you were looking at him for answers.
Yeah, it was like
Take me
the captain and the co-captain of the Titanic.
You remember that?
We were. That was like every show.
It happened a lot. It happened a lot.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, that could be so many different memories on Ike Live.
Exactly.
Countless.
There's every show, eh?
Once a show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I got a question for Brian.
oh, Johnny has a question for Brian.
I don't mean to take this. I don't mean to take this back to extraterrestrials so quickly, Brian. But have you ever seen the movie They Live? With Roddy Piper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever worn glasses around Ken Duke?
Say again.
Have you ever worn glasses around Ken Duke by any chance?
Worn glasses?
Yeah. the
Yeah.
glasses that allow you to see his true self.
Oh
And
shit,
might be
John.
a robot.
Yeah.
Really good possibility he's a robot.
Because I feel like
he's not
that's
a
living
robot.
proof that we're not alone on this planet. Like, there's higher intelligence here.
Cutting Ken Duke deep.
I don't think he's a robot, but he's definitely
An alien?
That was an AI.
What generations? Hey, John, what generation like infiltrator do you think he is? Do you think he's like Gen 1, Gen 2?
Well, if you read like in the Bible, like if you read Genesis, how like all of the ancient heroes lived to be like 900, 800 years old, and people think it's allegory, but other people think it's Nephilim, where it's like half gods, half man. I think he might be something like that, like where he's been around for a really long time. So I don't know if he would do generations the same we would, because like 800 years, like I don't know how you quantify that generationally. I think he's probably on year like 600, I'd say.
Yeah.
And how does Brian fit into his eternal equation?
yeah.
Brian's like like the David and Goliath figure, like the first human to pair up and take down the half man, half god hybrids. Like he's a man. I know it. I've seen I know he has his flaws and his weaknesses, but like he's a heroic man at that. So
It had to take a lot of years to read all those books.
And he's read them all. John, I feel like 1,000 years ago you would have been the guy banging the words into the stone with like a chisel. You would have been that dude, man.
Somebody's got to write this shit
Yeah.
down.
what would I have been?
What?
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, you guys cut out. What would he have been?
And find out his memories. From, like,
I said I
100 years
feel.
ago.
Hold on, Becky's talking. Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like we should hypnotize Ken and find out his memories from like 300 years ago. It'd be so amazing.
Yeah.
That's why he's so sold on this George Perry record not being real, because he was there.
Yeah.
He was there.
He knows. That's how he knows.
He's omnipresent.
We just out
It's actually
him,
true.
and I feel bad.
I think he'll be all right. He's been through this 100 times.
It makes sense.
It does.
A lot
Like
of stuff
Pete said,
makes sense now.
you can't. All those books can't be read by one man.
No, it's a couple lifetimes.
That's thousands of
He's
lifetimes.
like, he's like the modern Merlin, dude.
He is like Merlin.
He's amazing.
That's crazy.
In the fountain.
I don't know what my
Youth
role
in
is.
Florida,
How I
it
go
is.
from this
It
guy
is,
to that
yeah.
guy. I'm just kind of always that like middle.
You're kind of like the Percival.
Percival.
Percival was like a sire in
No, Brian.
King Arthur's army. He was like just basically an equipment boy who wound up becoming the guy that found the cup. He found the chalice.
Yeah. just also ran.
If you pick up like a banjo or something, you be the guy who like tells the story.
Oh shit!
I can't do that either, but I know the guy who can. I can't do anything.
Or
but
you
I
could
know
be the guy
people.
with double knives. You're the guy with the double knives and Conan the Barbarian. I wish everybody knew that one. That would be amazing if everybody knew who that was. That would be my best joke ever on this show, dude. Becky, are you able to bring stuff up? Oh, damn it, dude. The double. All right, anyone listening?
It's good enough.
Double knife guy, Conan the Barbarian.
Come on, man. I got to create a whole new character. Bastard.
John, you got to bring up the double knife guy from Conan the Barbarian, bro. I know you're too young for it.
Wait, what? I don't know what you're talking about.
The movie Conan the Barbarian.
I've never seen it because Netflix only has the sequel, like Conan the Destroyer or
the
something,
original-
and I've been really
you got your phone.
excited to catch up on this, but I haven't seen the movie.
Google image.
Bring up Google image, double knife guy, Conan the Barbarian. If you have to watch the movie to understand it, though. All right, joke's over. Joke's done.
The image will be
Oh
insulting
my
enough.
god.
The image will be damaging enough.
Double knife guy. Double knife guy, Pete.
I don't even remember exactly what it looked like, but I know it sucks.
That's not an easy
Hard
Google
fix
search,
of
by
Arnold.
the way.
All right, I'm
It
working
might not
on
even exist, but
It doesn't, apparently.
I just find Arnold Schwarzenegger all over the place.
Dave planted it. Yeah.
Wonder what's.
I'd be back.
You got to go, Conan. I'll get it. I'll get it. No big deal. I'm sorry, guys. I brought a joke into this.
Hey,
Yeah, I
put it
know.
up and I'll put it up. All right, so
Yeah, what do
listen. Eric, Johnny, Kai, we thank you so much for being on.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome
Yes.
sauce. We love you.
Love you guys.
And,
Definitely miss you guys.
Yeah.
Miss you guys.
Yeah.
Double knife guy.
Gotta move to Tampa.
Oh, we miss you guys too. Hopefully, we can all get together and
Becky,
man, we got to run that last in studio back at some point. That was an amazing time, and we just appreciate all the continued support from you guys. It really means the world.
Thank you guys.
And we'll continue to
Great
do
to
you
see you
proud.
all.
Later, guys.
All the best, guys. Keep doing it.
All right. Thanks, guys. We always have bunk beds for you.
Yeah, we do have bunk beds. Dude, that was nice seeing those guys.
Yeah.
They're so special.
Kai's
Did you find the
freaking
double
awesome.
He's awesome.
double knife guy? 'Cause
He's
I can't-
funny.
Dave, it's not coming up.
I'm going to have him in 9 seconds. Oh, I'm on IMDb. I'm going to get it off of that.
I mean, all I got is like this weird guy.
That's
No,
not-
I'll get it.
Wait,
I'll
is
get
that
it.
double knife guy? Put that back up.
I'll get double knife guy. Don't worry about it.
I think that was him. Real quick, why Dave's looking for this?
We digress. I don't even know what our topic is now.
I know, but I did want to chime in on my ICAST pick real quick.
Yeah,
we only got
we haven't
5
heard
minutes
from
left
you.
here of the show. Pete, was amazed. I got Becky allowed me
Who's
like
coughing to death in the background?
30 minutes on.
You are
Thursday.
a tackle junkie.
I'm a tackle junkie.
You love this stuff.
So I had 30 minutes on Thursday, and I was literally trying my best to be like to see, right? And there was the forward-facing stuff for sure. So a lot of jig and minnows. But Becky will tell you, my pick, and I won't even call out a brand for what blew me away, are the kayak companies coming out with hybrid kayaks.
I saw a lot of that. Yeah,
a lot of them. 3 or 4 companies.
Yeah.
Where when you look,
you got front decks you can stand on.
It was sitting down there. Dave, you'll appreciate this. So
kick it.
You know, the whole kayak thing, right?
Yeah.
Basic kayaks. And then we got into Hobies, and we're like, you're like, how could it get any better?
How's it get better?
Dude, 3, 4, 5 companies. I walk past it. I'd be like, I would stop and I would look at it and I'd be like, what is that? Because when I looked at it, it was part crawdad, part kayak,
paddleboard,
part bat.
Yeah.
They're these hybrid kayaks. They're calling them kayaks, but I don't even know if that's the right word. Dude, you can mount front motors on them, back motors, 2 power poles, freaking graphs, lights. They're unbelievable, dude.
Wow.
And I'm like, think back, and I'm like, this is what we were doing to crawdads 30 years ago.
Yep.
Like, it's the same
Exactly
shit.
the same.
What do they run, like 7-8 grand?
No, that's the crazy
20?
one. So no. So the one that won Best of Show, which is by Wilderness Systems, is now not with the motors. I'm talking about the standard package, right? $2 grand.
Dang.
Pretty good price.
Cheaper than a Hobie.
Yeah.
One person?
One person. All the ones I saw were one person. They were between 12 and 14 feet. So bigger than the crawdads.
I mean, the big thing in Florida now are these boats that are just these like V-hulls that look like they're like crawdads, and they have a deck on the back, and everyone's just center console, one person in there, and
ripping around.
Dude, they're huge,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That's all the influencers that fish Florida are in those boats, man.
Get
I forget what
anywhere,
it's called.
drafts, anything.
Yeah, man. It's like maybe like an 8-inch draft.
Yeah.
Like it's
So
nothing.
They jet
I was
drives?
impressed by that.
No, they're
movement,
outboards.
you know?
Very cool.
I think it's cool. I think it's going to open up a lot of people fishing. Now the purists were not happy about it, which is kind of funny.
What, the kayak purists?
Kayak purists,
like the paddlers.
That's not kayak fishing.
They're going to put regulations
That's
on
not
it.
a kayak.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys.
Well,
But
there's something to be said for that.
there is.
There should be, human propulsion only, and
No forward facing, no
there should
trolling
be.
motor.
There should probably be a no forward facing league. Sorry to jump.
Mike, will that happen in standard bass fishing? Is that coming?
No.
Bass After Dark Thursday night.
I mean, there was a lot of chat between guys earlier in the year, and then it got quiet again. So I don't know.
Why'd it get quiet?
Don't know.
They can't ever organize.
I fielded 2 or
They
3
just can't do
calls.
Actor who
from
ran
guys,
double knives in
and then
Conan the Barbarian.
it just kind of
double knife. He did it
Double-
into his mic.
Double knife guy. Double knife guy. Conan the Barbarian. Original movie. Early Arnold. The original Arnold.
I'm doing this quietly.
Double knife guy.
I'm doing this
Original
quietly so
Arnold.
nobody can hear it on the podcast.
This is the original Arnold Schwarzenegger. Double knife guy.
What the? Just whispered that right into the microphone.
We're going to be able to go back and edit this part out just so this is its own standalone.
You like cupped it around the microphone
Double
and
knife guy.
whispered that shit.
Conan Arnold.
Yeah, make a note.
It
Yeah.
hurts. It hurts.
Make
Stop.
a note.
It hurts. I can't even see, and now my eyes are watering.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, here's the thing. This would be a great way to go out. It is 11 o'clock, so we really need this image. Can we
Come
on.
It doesn't
Why are you
exist.
looking? I had a celebrity sighting.
You did?
I did.
At the
Like
airport?
beyond the TikTokers at ICAST.
How dare you call them
Really?
celebrities?
I'm at the airport waiting for my flight, and I got my
Orlando?
earbuds in What's that?
Orlando or
Orlando.
Philly? Okay.
You know, it's a mob scene there. Everybody's vacation, going home, coming.
Can we get a hint?
And he's from Jersey. So I am
Bruce Willis.
No, both
Bruce
good guesses.
Springsteen.
So I'm sitting there listening. I'm listening to my audiobook like we were talking about, trying to engage, and I hear like old school like ghetto blaster like coming through the airport. Like, who has the balls to have a box blasting
LL Cool J
blasting through the airport? And I got offended. I was like, I'm trying to listen to improve myself, and I'm listening to
improve myself.
And I'm like, that's just, and I'm not even engaged. I'm not even looking. I'm just like taking notes on what I'm listening to or whatever. And finally it gets louder and it's right in front of me. And I look up and it's Tracy Morgan.
Get out of here.
Yep. Honest to God. He was
with a boombox?
On his lap. It was all rap. I don't know who it was. It happened
Was it
so
being
fast.
filmed?
I know. It just he had an entourage of 30 people behind him, and he was sitting in a wheelchair. They were pushing him.
He's jacked up from a car accident.
And he had his box on his lap, and it was just blasting out the airport, and his whole entourage just moved right
That's
through
awesome.
moved right through the airport.
Wow. Wow.
I think
celebrity
Dave,
sighting.
do we have an
There you
image
go.
yet?
Did you recognize
It's
the
Conan
Tracy
the
Morgan?
Barbarian 2, by the way.
Did I
I'm close. I'm close.
Did I recognize him?
You recognized him.
Oh my gosh!
Did you have a tracksuit on?
Like they,
But he like put on a lot of weight or something, right?
Wonder what he's still doing stand up.
No, I
No,
mean,
it's-
know,
how dare
I just
Did you have a
immediately
Did you have a
recognized him.
tracksuit on or no?
I don't recall. I don't recall.
He just
But he
had
was
a
like
boombox.
he was from me to Dave. Like he was like right. He was like right
Wow.
there. So
Wow.
it was. I didn't know what the appropriate move was. Like I wanted to film it and shoot it. And I'm like, I get pissed off when people do that to me.
All the time, right?
Anyway, that was my
Wow,
celebrity
that's a cool sighting.
Yeah, that was pretty
Super
cool.
cool sighting.
The other cool sighting was in our booth across from us was the South Carolina Fishing Game.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they had a video of filleting bass.
Yes, I saw that.
Running on a loop.
That. Oh yeah, I saw that. I
That's
was sitting there watching that.
I think they're what they're at. I didn't talk to them, but I guess they're advocating for the culling of the herd.
we did a
Getting
show
rid of
on
the,
that.
the spotted bass kind of thing. Yeah.
Right.
We did a show
Yep.
titled "Has Catch and Release Gone Too Far?"
Yeah.
And we had 3 biologists on that show
And
just
they all
talking
said
about.
yes.
That's why it's a big reason why we don't see as many big fish.
Yeah.
Lake Biwa, when Corrida's 22.5 was caught, a contributing factor to that was that they were catch and kill.
Yep. They were eating all the fish. Yep.
Or they were told to kill them. Largemouth were under
Right. They're an
'cause they're an
invasive species over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But biologists all say that catch and release has gone too far, and they had statistics for all of that.
Yeah.
That we should be killing more. And and the one issue with tournaments is when there is kill, it tends to be the bigger ones. Because we as fishermen do kill.
Well, if anybody's
fish
watching
inadvertently,
and you're
but-
thinking about this whole strategy, catch and kill, keep the fish you don't want, bring them to me. I got a little place out back here I'd love to place them in. So just hit me up.
You don't want too many.
Dave,
You won't get big
It's
ones.
coming back.
do-
Inbound. Stand by.
It's getting bad.
It's en route.
What's getting bad?
Sent.
All right, here we go.
Let's get
We got it,
bed.
folks. This is the
Come on, Dave.
no, it's set.
Check your phone.
It's in the airwaves.
Oh, Dave.
Well, who am I going to send it to? How am I going to? I can't just
All
put
right,
it on
while,
the screen.
while we're waiting for this picture to come up,
We're
I'm
doing
It's
an
going to be.
unbox-
Hold
Why
on.
does he look like Justin Timberlake?
Let me
We doing an unboxing?
I'm just preparing everybody. It's not going to be that great. You have to watch Conan
gotta
the
be one
Destroyer
around
to
here, bro.
appreciate it.
Put it a little
Conan
closer.
the shirt, too.
Put a little
This was
closer.
Double Knife Guy, by the way, Brian.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember him.
Okay.
Double Knife Guy. He does look like Justin Timberlake
Yeah,
a little bit.
That's the guy I remember.
Well, anyway, he was to Conan what you are to Ken. That's
What? It's a weasel.
No, but he was stabbing dudes like pop. No, he was working dudes.
I do want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It was so awesome. Reunion show, catching up with everybody. Guys, we got to do this like a couple times a year.
Oh,
at
yeah.
the very least.
Yeah.
We have to do this. It's so nice.
So
Also want to thank our special guest, Chef and Vegas the Hammer, for coming in later in the show. Yeah.
By the way, our buddy Tom sent me a text during the show and said when Chef was standing behind Becky coughing up a storm, he said, "Get COVID-24 away from Becky." our buddy Tom did. He said, "Get COVID-24 away from Becky."
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Also want to thank Abu Garcia for sponsoring the show. Head over to abugarcia.com. Check out the new Ike Series 3.0 rods and reels.
Credge wins.
The Credge did win. New Hard
Yeah.
Bay. And also Ike Foundation. If you want to help get kids fishing, go to ikefoundation.org. Find out how to get kids fishing. What else we got, Beck? I think that was a good show. You got anything else?
Excellent.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you later. Good night.
Double Knife Guy.
Good night, Double Knife Guy. Good night, everybody.
Do you fish for excitement? Do you fish for passion? Do you fish to get outside? Or do you fish to win? Abu Garcia for life. You know, right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, you know, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water. You know, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes. But they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, you know, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, you know, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high, and let these kids have an experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
Yeah.
It'd be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation. Ecology, you know, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us.
Yeah.
We're proud of it.
I subscribe to Bass U TV, and so should you. Great place to learn about anything you want to know about bass fishing. You get it at Bass U. We got the best of the best.
I'm not just an instructor, I'm a subscriber.
I'm John Cruz, and I am a subscriber.
You can always learn, and watching Bass U is definitely helps with that. It's something that I like to do, and it's definitely something that you need to do.
If I'm still learning, you should be too.
Subscribe to Bass U because you'll learn how to catch a lot more fish.
Ike Live, brought to you exclusively by Abu Garcia.